And I can't wait to talk footy with you as well, bro.
I'm having
This is
fun,
gonna
man.
be- this is
Whatever
gonna
you
be
want to
so good.
ask, you ask away.
Thank you, bro. I can't wait. Listen, I'm just warning you that I have unpopular footy opinions. Alright.
Trust me, I work with Sui and Flaxy. These two people, I want to punch them in the head half the time. So it's okay. I'm used to it. I have self-control, man. I have bad footy takes too.
Alright.
I said Melbourne were going to be 9th last year.
You said Melbourne were going to be 9.
Yeah, I did.
Wow, why'd you say that?
Because
you think?
the rest of the team outside of the spine is terrible. I don't know how they win games. This is Craig Bellamy.
Are you serious?
Bro, they're so bad. Like, okay, Coates last year, he was good. Warbrick's good. Katoa's good. And their spine's good. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Their centers are terrible.
Nick Meaney? You don't rate Nick Meaney?
No. Not in the centers.
No way.
He's a speed bump. Teams don't attack him enough.
Are you serious?
Yeah, respectfully, I think that's the way to beat Melbourne. You just run at Nick Meaney 24/7.
No way, that's crazy. I
That's
gotta pay
why.
more attention to that.
Because he's not very big, and he can't really tackle.
Wow, okay. I always thought he was good at the 1-on-1 tackles
Like, you can
as a fullback, like as a
yeah, but like in the defending in the lines a bit different. Like
Yeah,
when
it
teams
is.
beat Melbourne, it's through him or through Grant Anderson. But
Yeah,
Anderson's
fair.
a little bit better.
oh,
I like
that's
Anderson.
huge.
I like Anderson more.
Oh my, I gotta
I know
pay more
Nick-
attention.
I know Nick. No, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my viewpoint. I think that's why I think Melbourne are beatable,
Wow.
especially by us.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, because who would go? He's
Bronson.
on the. Yeah, he's on the right. So
Bronson would cook him, I think, and he did last year, and he was only in his like second. I didn't even think he. No, Bronson didn't even play against him
Sheesh.
because I think we lost to them, and then we went and beat the Roosters, and that was Bronson's first game.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Something like that, yeah.
That game was so good. That Roosters game. I know they almost came back.
I
we had, like, injuries and
I was losing my mind that game. Like I still couldn't. I was like on cloud 9, and then I was just like at halftime to my mom, "You're a momentum team. The Roosters are a momentum team. I can't be." I still think we're gonna lose, and they came back with 12 players the whole game.
Oh, far out. But apparently we had like 5 players injured.
Yeah,
In the second
yeah.
half.
Max King and everyone like that.
Yeah,
So
Kurt Mann was gone and everything. What a game, bro. I hate the Roosters.
I hate them too. My mom goes to the Roosters.
No way.
Yeah, so
How is that?
she followed Willie Mason because she had the hots for Willie Mason.
Bro, I love
Lustful
Willie Mason.
thoughts, mate.
Yeah. Lustful thoughts.
That's what I always say to her. I love Willie Mason too. I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'm like, I can't get enough of it. And I keep
Bro.
rubbing at my mum's face.
What a dream.
Yeah.
Can you tell Willie Mason that I'm a massive fan? And
I
tell him to
started
come
telling
on
my
the show?
mum. I've started telling my mum's a massive fan. I forgot to tell him last time. I was so nervous.
All right, that takes priority.
Yeah, I think that's got to be priority. Bro.
He seems like a champ. Have you met him before?
Willie?
Yeah.
Not until the last time I met him. Like the last time was the first time.
When
When
you
I
did
recorded
that,
with
yeah.
that was the first time. I was the first time meeting all of them except for Josh. But Josh, I get nervous around football players. This time around I won't be because I met him now. But
Nice.
like Josh is like my favorite player ever, so I'm still starstruck to be working with him properly.
Yeah.
Because I did a small like skit with him, and I had no clue he was going to be there. They just told me last second. John and Nick Bernard, they told me last second he was going to be there, and we did like the doggies and stuff, and but I barely said a word to him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, now it's like I'm a
That's
bit more
mad.
confident
Yeah, nice.
because they're cool dudes.
That's mad. Josh Reynolds, my mum's favorite is Josh Reynolds.
He's
She
my favorite.
loves him.
Yeah,
Oh,
him and
bro.
Hazem, I think they were the ones that I put on a pedestal.
Wow. My favorite of all time, like player in general, not just Bulldogs, is Michael Ennis. I love him with a passion.
Have you ever met him?
No.
I shook his hand one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is he nice?
He's so nice. He was full like respectful to me. Like I was like I came as a fan. He was just I walked past him at Belmore and I shook his hand and he's like, "Hey, go on, mate." And I'm like, "Mickey, I love you."
The best thing is hearing that they're nice people because
Yeah.
it ruins everything if you meet them or you just hear that they're grubs.
Yeah.
All right, guys, does your foot roll in like mine or maybe even roll out? Or do you just need general treatment for nail and skincare? For any problems with my feet, I go to MJ Podiatry. They're a mobile home visit network servicing all of Sydney, offering expert podiatry care for general treatments, sports injuries, custom orthotics, ingrown nails, and footwear advice, and offer NDIS and home care packaging. Visit mjpodiatry.com.au, call 0412 389 278, or email info@mjpodiatry.com.au to book your appointment today. Use code ATG10 for 10% off your treatment. Let's officially start the podcast, and I'll give you. I always tell guests when they come on, I give a poor introduction. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I get really awkward and everything, bro. It's just me.
I'm the same.
All right. I'm glad. Thank you, man. You've made me feel comfortable this whole time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome back to Against the Grain. I am, as always, honoured and glad to have anyone sitting on the couch with me, but especially today, I have the man known as Hectic Fred on the podcast. Thanks so much for coming, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, if you don't mind, I'll tell everyone how this happened. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, so I'm like, I saw you follow ages ago. And I went, this is huge. I love Hectic Fred. I follow you on like my personal account and everything. I'm like, yeah, I love it. And then you messaged Happy Easter. And I hadn't seen it for a while. I was delayed, and then because I was off social media, and then I went on and I go, oh, what a champion! Like, you know, wishing us a happy Easter, whatever. So I replied, and then you were so nice, because it's hard to know where people are at and also whether they're comfortable to come on and speak about the faith or whatever and all that stuff. So, so you had actually said, if you ever need someone, I'm happy to come on, speak about the faith and whatever. What a champion. I go, let's go, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
No hesitation. I was like, okay, man. I'd been watching for a while, man, because like I told you before, like Father Ben was my parish priest for a bit at John the Baptist. So, and the first homily I ever saw him give, he mentioned the podcast. So once I found it, I was hooked, man.
Oh, thank God. That's what I'll say to you, bro. Father Ben just shamelessly plugged all the time wherever he was.
Yeah, and he always put it in perfectly. Like, you don't think he's plugging. He's just making it as another way he helps the community. You know what I mean? And helps the youth of today through a podcast. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly how he pitched it in the homily. And I was like, hey, I looked at my mates and I'm like, hey, that's us. We're the youth of today.
We got to jump on board.
Yeah, we all followed him that day. And it was like the best thing, because this is like the whole group that I started getting to come to church with us.
You're a legend.
And then I had a couple of weeks where I didn't go, and they kept telling me, man, this new priest is insane, man. He's so good. Like, insane in a good way.
Thank God.
And I went and he's been talking for like 15 minutes. We've gone through like the first quarter of the mass, and I'm like, so this guy's not a fill-in, this is the real deal, right? This is our parish priest. And I'm like, yep. And I'm like, hey, this guy's mad. And then his homily came around, and I was like blown away.
That is so good, man. I love that. Father Ben, yeah, he's a champion. We were saying before, he's just different, eh?
Something special, man.
He is far out. I bet you miss him.
I miss him big time. That's why I go all the way to Good Friday, just see him walking around behind the priest. This is good enough for me, man. I get to see Father Ben once a year. I'm happy.
That's the best. Yeah, because you were saying you go to St. Mary's Cathedral for Good Friday.
Yeah, it's like a family tradition. It's like what we always do now.
That's mad. How good. And Bonnie Rig the rest of it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I go around all the time. Like I'm like, sometimes I want to go, because I'm Maronite. Sometimes I want to go to Our Lady,
nice.
Or go to I grew up in Redfern until I was about 5, and my grandparents still live there with all of my uncles and aunties, like still to this day. So sometimes I want to go to St. Maroon's. Like I jump around a lot, nice. But for the most part, I like staying up late, and sometimes I just want to not have to drive far to go to church. Sometimes yeah. John the Baptist does a good job for me. Plus, I went to high school there, right, at Freeman. So, nice. This just makes sense.
Yeah, nice, bro. It's home now.
Pretty much, man.
That's the way. And you're half Leb, hey? Half Leb, half Armenian?
Yeah, half Lebanese, half Armenian. But a lot of people just assume I'm full Lebanese. Honestly, I didn't even tell people I was Armenian half the time, because they don't know what it is. Yeah, and then when I have to describe what it is, I either have to tell them like the whole origin story, and the whole war story and
History
it's
and
depressing.
everything,
Or I can just tell him, like, there's like not many examples I have outside of like Henrik Mkhitaryan and Kim Kardashian, and no one knows who Mkhitaryan is anymore, and Kim Kardashian isn't really the best example. So I just say, oh, Lord, Lebanese, man. They have to find out the hard way that I'm Armenian.
That's the way. I love that. I have a mate who's fully Syrian, like full Syrian. But every time he tells someone he's Syrian because he's Christian, like he's Orthodox. Because when he says he's Syrian, they go, Assyrian? And he goes, no, just Syrian. You know, so he just gave up. Everyone just assumed he was Leb. So he just started telling people I'm Leb.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. People don't ask questions. It's like, it's just because they just assume. Like, I'm assuming you're Lebanese. You might have not even be Lebanese.
I'm Leb, bro. Full Leb. My brother did the ancestry test just to see if we had any mixes or anything. Fully Leb all the way. It's boring.
Cousin.
everything.
Yeah.
That's so good. Were both your parents born in there?
No, my dad was born here, and my mom was born in Iraq, and like moved around a little bit, and then and could have either ended up in Los Angeles or here, and ended up here.
Thank God.
Yeah, her family here hijacked the papers and submitted the paperwork before the family in California did to bring him here.
No way.
So then that's why they ended up here first.
That's mad. Oh, I'm glad. I'm personally glad that happened, so we can be sitting.
I'm
here
happy
now,
here
bro.
as well, man. I couldn't imagine what I was like if I was American. I wouldn't be this cool, man.
Nah, and you wouldn't be watching rugby league.
Exactly. I feel like somehow I would. I don't know.
It just seems fitting that way. Hey, destiny just.
It's God's plan, man. I'm here for a reason.
That's it, bro. That's it. Do your parents know that you're a celebrity?
Yeah, like my mum discovered it because we went shopping and like in Ed Square, and we don't really go to Ed Square at all. And I don't go shopping with my mum at all. And I went shopping with her because we had a birthday party there, and then she wanted to do some shopping quickly. And then I just got swarmed. And this was like 2-3 years ago. Like, this wasn't like, I had nowhere near the following that I have now. Just got absolutely like attacked. Not attacked like actually, but like swarmed by all these like young kids, man. And I can never say no to a photo. So I said, hey mum, can you just wait 5 minutes and let me because they had a birthday party too. Let me just get it out of the way. And like, can you take the photos, mum? And she was like so happy, but she's so confused.
That's so cute.
Yeah, but my old man, he never really like cared. Like, I remember trying to explain to him what I was doing, like, because I started off live streaming. I used to just do video games because I'm a big gamer.
Yeah.
And then eventually moved to football stuff when we went through lockdown number 2. We were right before Origin. I wanted to watch the game with my friends, and then we went into lockdown, and I said, we're going to figure out a way to watch it together. And then I live streamed one game, and it just kept going for 3 years. And my old man, until I brought him like one paycheck, he didn't even think. He just thought it was all a waste of time, you know. And my old man passed away in April last year, and I never knew this, right? Like, and obviously last year was just a very difficult year for me. I still had a great time. I still had an amazing time. It was such a blessing last year. But like, I never had to go through loss, and I never had to go through like a breakup and all this stuff, and it just all kept happening in a short span of time. But I'll never forget, like, I never thought he watched me because he never said nothing, and I remember looking for like a photo of us to like post, like to let everybody know that, you know, I had to let the whole family know what was going on.
Yeah.
And I look at his Facebook, and he's just sharing my stream links over and over and over and over, and sharing my clips over and over on Facebook.
That's awesome.
And I had no clue. And he was like, this guy kisses me when I'm asleep, bro. Like, he would say all of these nice things, but just never to my face. And he would plug my stream everywhere and talk me up, but never to my face, always behind my back. So that's one story that I always love telling, because it's like, that's man,
beautiful, man.
Like, he realized, because he used to watch my stuff and I never even knew. And he used to be like, and my mum was telling me, like, he used to be in his garage on his computer, and he's like, come look how many people are watching Fred.
Oh, I love that.
So it's a pretty cool story, yeah.
Thanks be to God. Sorry for your loss, man. I didn't know that.
It's fine, man. I think partially like I'm obviously at peace with it, but it never truly goes away, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But he was sick for a long time, so I'm glad that the suffering's sort of over, and he's in a better place now. You know.
Yeah, it gets like that. Hey, you just think, and it's a hard way to think, but it's beautiful that you think that way. It's like it's so selfless. Like, yeah, if it was up to you, you would probably still have him here with you, like for your sake.
Yeah.
But for his sake, you're glad that it's over for him. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah. I always like one of my cousins told me, like during the whole like funeral process, he said, if you went up and asked him to come down, he'll tell you he'll tell you to get lost. Like he used a bit of a bit of a less like formal term.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh. I'm like, fucks, man. He wouldn't want to come back down because he's up there with like all these people that he's lost. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and I was like, that just helped really like put it onto perspective for me.
Amen, bro.
And like I always try to see the positive of every situation, right? Like I try to stay out of a negative mindset. But last year was like I had to go through a lot of like firsts for the first time, and it was all in a short span. Yet it was still one of the best years of my life, like the worst year of my life, but at the same time, one of my best years. Like I literally did so much good last year. Like got to work with the dogs for the first time ever. That was something that, like, if you told me when I was 12, 13 that I'd be doing something like that, I'd be like, no way, bro.
Yeah, no chance.
But,
Thanks for the God.
Yeah, working with doing stuff with the dogs, you know what I mean? Like it was something really special, man. Something, and I just like, you know, it's just a part of life. Some things you have to deal with, but not everyone's as blessed as I am. So I'm just thankful to be in the position that I'm in.
Thanks be to God. That's so good, man. You got a heart of gratitude, bro. It's not as common as I thought it was, and as common as you'd hope it would be. You know, so that's so good to hear. Thanks be to God. Far out. So tough year last year. We're coming in. 2025 is looking up. It's looking good.
Big time. Come on, man. Look at us, top of the table, man.
I know.
And it was so funny. Like we weren't even doing good. Like, cause my old man passed away like April 20th, right? And we weren't even doing very well.
Yeah.
And then literally we were losing a lot of games and stuff. And I just joke around with my uncles like, as soon as my old man passed away, the dogs got good. We won. He passed away on the Saturday morning, like, and we played Saturday afternoon against the Knights, and we had none of our origin. Like, we didn't have no Crichton, no Burden, no kick out, and I'm expecting, here we go. Maybe we get another like 66-0 game. We got Drew Hutchison, and we beat them 32-6, and I was like, okay. And then we just kept winning after that. I was like, hey, you seen that, man? He didn't rate us at the start of the season. So I always joke about that.
It's his prayers.
Since then we've been flying, mate. The
so
dogs
true.
being good made that 2024 a lot easier. I'm not gonna lie. If we were bad during that whole period, I would have been a lot sadder, man.
It does that to you, eh?
But I really confided in rugby league, but a little bit too much. When the season ended and I wasn't streaming as much and I wasn't making content as much, that's when it all hit me. So I didn't even plan on taking a break. I actually planned on like finally going into like other industries, like doing food content and doing content, like going to like car races and stuff because I like cars, and maybe going to other sports. But then I realized, I'm like, dude, all of this, I was relying on the football way too much to keep me sane. And then once that was over, like I actually had to like deal with the emotions that I kept pushing aside. So I took a big break, came back this year, refreshed, ready to go. And I think like my mind is a lot clearer. So 2025 has been on a year of just all good, barely any bad.
Thanks be to God. That's so good to hear.
I'm so thankful.
That's so good to hear, man. And I mean, we're here to talk footy and faith, and it's just a beautiful thing to hear how you're still so strong in your faith, so set in it as well, even like despite those hardships. Did it kind of help you get through them?
Oh, if I wasn't in touch with my faith, like it would have been infinitely harder. And I understand why so many people nowadays struggle with loss and struggle with a lot of like bad things that happen. You know what I mean? If you have no faith that things are going to get better, it just looks like it's only going to get worse from that point, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, if I wasn't strong in my faith, I would have gone down some very dark paths that I'm lucky that, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like I could have, I got pretty close on going down some roads that I would have definitely regretted going down them if it wasn't for me being in touch with my faith. And even though I was, the temptation to go down and do things that I shouldn't be doing was still there, right? Just to cope with the pain that I was going through, the loneliness, you know what I mean? Like there was a void missing in my heart from my old man passing away. And then 1 month later, like I had a relationship and there was a massive hole in my heart, man. And many bad things can fill that void, but I decided to just stay strong, like I not crack. And in some ways I did crack a little bit, like we all do. We're all human, but that void is eventually been filled by, by Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen, bro. Amen. Yeah. We were recording yesterday as well, a podcast, which by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be coming. The podcast we recorded yesterday will be coming out next week.
Yeah. And then this one the week after.
No, this one is coming out on Wednesday. So not tomorrow, next week.
I see you going back to back.
Yeah. So I've gone back to back recordings, but the one I recorded yesterday is actually coming out after yours.
Yeah.
So,
okay. It make sense.
Because it's a bit tough, But we were speaking about that exact thing is like those voids that you feel in your life that sometimes it can come from like, if you're away from the faith and you're trying to fill it with like different things, girls, alcohol, all this stuff, whatever it is, drugs, all that stuff. Or it can come from loss, and things like that. But we were talking about how that void can only be filled by God. And you can try and like bring some finite stuff in to fill that void, sorry. But in the end they just pass, and then you're just left with that void again.
Yeah, it's like a glass that keeps leaking.
Yeah.
Like it fills it for a little bit, but then it leaks, and it's either you're gonna fill it with more of the same stuff or you're gonna fill it with something else that that will patch the hole.
Yeah,
like it's like the Lord is like Sikaflex 11 FC in construction. They know they go. Sikaflex is just no more gaps. Silicon, it's just gonna no more cracks, man. No more gaps.
I love that. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's basically like it really works perfectly.
Yeah, I love that. And we were talking before. I was saying to you, I hope this is okay for people to know. That's fine. You have a full-time job.
Yeah, a lot of people think that I do this full-time.
Yeah.
I put a lot of content out and it's not full-time. You can only imagine how much content I'd put out if I had the days too.
Yeah.
But I've only got the nights and then the weekends, right, to put out content. And like people were like, where's the origin? Where's the state of origin? Like a team reveal. I still haven't even I done my projected team, but I never did my reaction because I went wedding on Sunday night when it got announced, and then Monday I had my own podcast to record, and then I just I came on a guest recording today, right? So I still don't have it. So I'll drop it on Wednesday, 1 week before the game, right?
Nice.
But yeah, I work in construction. I'm an estimator, so I did a Bachelor of Construction Management, but nice. It lets me go into many other areas.
Nice.
And I did always want to be a PM, but I think I just had I've been doing this and it takes up a lot of my time, and PMing, project managing, takes up a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
You got to work overtime a lot and the hours are crazy and it's very stressful. Whereas estimating is set time period. The only time I really work overtime is around the deadline when I have to submit a project. And that's pretty much it, man. It's very easy to manage and control, and it gives me time to do everything else that I want to do. So I went into estimating, which is essentially we get drawings before the building is built, and you sort of have to build the job on a computer and measure out everything and then price up everything, and then submit it to the client and that's basically what I do. I'll do the whole thing
Nice.
start to finish. So
That's
it's a lot of fun. I stay inside all day, air conditioned unit, office environment. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
How good.
But then
man.
and then after that, when I get home, it's content time a lot of the days.
Yeah, that's the way. So you'd have full days, eh? Like
Yeah,
just,
Monday's a full day. Thursday and Fridays are full days. I really don't, and then the weekends I don't really get to do much on the weekends because 3 o'clock game, 5:30 game, 7:30 game Saturday, and then 2 games on the Sunday. So it takes up a lot of my time, but I absolutely love it. And obviously, down the track, if the door opens for a full time gig, I guess I would take it. But at the moment and for the foreseeable future, I'll probably still be working full time, and then inshallah I get the chance to have the opportunity to choose one, or choose one of them, or stay in both. We'll see how we go.
yeah.
But again, I'm not too worried. I trust in God's timing, God's plan, and I just want to put my head down and work hard.
Amen, bro. Spoken like a true mature man of God. That's
Yeah,
the way.
pretty much, right?
That's
That's
the
the
way.
way. That's the mindset I try and have.
That's the way, bro. How if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? I don't
I'm
even know.
37.
What? I was like,
I'm
that's
26.
not what I was expecting.
I'm 26. I'm 26.
Are you
I just-
26?
Yeah, I'm 26.
No way.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you were gonna say. Well, if I said
Bro.
37, I can see that. I was like,
nah,
I'm
you
20
actually have a young face.
yeah,
Do
I'm
you get told that
99,
a lot?
man.
99.
Yeah, 1999.
Ooh.
The last of a generation, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm 2000.
Yeah, I would have thought you were older.
Sad. I look older, hey.
Yeah.
As soon as his beard goes, I look like 12. It's very bad.
As soon as this beard goes, I look like the hectic cheese. Brandon Smith. That's what everyone says. That's why, and I was like, then I saw it and I was like, yeah, I probably gotta have the beard, otherwise everyone's gonna be calling me like hectic.
Hectic
They
cheese.
can't call me hectic cheese because my thing is hectic too,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Because they like, for example, like if I look like someone else and his name was Zach, they would call me hectic Zach, because I look like him, right?
Yeah.
But like
that's right.
hectic cheese is hectic cheese.
Yeah.
He's not the cheese, right? He's hectic cheese.
That's
so then
right.
it just maybe it makes more sense. I don't know, but
There's copywriting issues there,
Yeah.
but you know, you
yeah.
can't.
No, my mum's hectic mum, my dad was hectic dad, and then I'm hectic friend. That's the way I go. If he
I
was tries
love
to
that.
copyright me, man, I've got my PSN from 2011, man. That's how it started. But it had a lot of X's. It was XX, like hectic Fred, but the E's were 3s.
Nice.
So that's how that. So if he tries to
Smooth.
copyright me, I'm like, man, I had this from 2011, man. When did you have
Trademark,
hectic cheese?
I love
Yeah,
I love that. That's mad. Is that actually how your name came about?
that's how it
From
started. Yeah.
From your PSN.
Someone called me because my real name's not even Fred. Like a lot of people don't even know. My name's
Yeah.
Farid.
Farid, yeah.
But my grandfather's also named Farid, so I get called Fred. Like no one actually calls me Fred or nobody actually calls me my real name except my old man when he was like really angry with me, which was a lot. Even though I didn't do too much, I was a good kid. And then my schoolmates. That's it. No one else in the family
no
calls
way.
me. Yeah, like
Wow.
work, school, and dad when he was angry. That was it. And other than that, it's Fred to everyone else.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So that was to distinguish you and your grandpa. Is that what it was?
Pretty much, yeah. Because if the thing is like even in our laneway, right, like in Redfern, there was more Farids there. So when they'd all be, and they'd always be over. So if somebody said Farid, 4 people would look at him. So like, yeah.
That's
so
fair.
that's how they distinguished me. And then Fred's a lot easier, to be honest.
Yeah, fair. Especially for the Aussies.
Yeah. Oh, big time. When I played rugby league, nobody even knew my name wasn't Fred.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they didn't, like they just never found out. Pretty much, I was just always Fred because there's no way in the world they'll be able to say my name. Like the coach, like my Aussie when I had Aussie coaches, I felt like they were gonna have a stroke if they tried to say my name, man. Farid, even teachers, man, they screwed it up bad.
That's so
And
good.
like
So you just say, call
it
me
would be
Fred.
it would actually be like a laughing joke, like when we get new teachers in high school, like everybody would be waiting to
yeah.
see, like all my mates would be hawking, like waiting to see when they get to T on the roll whether they're gonna say my name right or not. No one ever did.
That's so good.
And then somebody called me Hectic Freed when I was in like year 6. Because DJ Yalla and Bo Ryan and all that was the funny. That's when it first started, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then somebody called me, like I said, the word hectic, and somebody just called me Hectic Fareed. And then when I was, like Fareed is how they say it. Yeah, they don't say it like Fareed.
Yeah,
they say Fareed, right?
Fareed, yeah, gotcha.
So then called me that, and then I just made it Hectic Fred my PSN.
That's
that was
mad.
a good name.
Oh, good.
It's stuck now, like all the way till now.
Right, and the perfect alias for your social media stuff.
Yep, and that's why everybody thinks I'm full ebb, because the Hectic.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's so good. You know what I just realized? In my introduction, I didn't even tell people what you're actually famous for. Like, we've kind of hinted at it, but...
We've got the jerseys on. That should tell you enough.
Yeah,
I play for the Dogs. No, I'm joking.
That's the best.
No chance.
Why? That's pretty much Latrell had that for most of his career.
Yeah, but Latrell was also could run 100 meters in 11 seconds, man. I can't do that.
That's
fair. Like 37 seconds.
You and me both, bro. And I'd be walking by the end.
Yeah, I've got a torn ACL, man. I don't have a choice.
Do you actually?
Yeah, second tear. It's like pretty rough.
How did that happen?
First one was 3 years ago. I was playing basketball. I was in my grand final or semi-final, and we were just like, we had made like an insane comeback against this team the year before. So we were down by like 10 points with like 2 minutes to go, and we were still in the game, like just trying to make a comeback. In reality, I probably should have just subbed out and just called it a day. But because we made that insane comeback, one of the best nights of my life, the season before, we were like, we could do it again. And then I was shooting the ball, and somebody like their foot went under my foot, and I just landed, and it just snap, crackle, pop straight away. Just knew it.
Oh.
And then I waited, and the sad thing was like so you can be under your parents' insurance until you're 23, and I was like 23 in like 3 weeks.
Oh,
so then I wasn't insured. So then I had to go like and either wait the public system or get my own insurance and wait a year till pre-existing conditions can be like operated on and covered under the insurance. I waited like 6 months because they said it would be like 10 to 18 months or whatever on the public system. And then after 6 months, my surgeon's like, you might as well just get the private healthcare and then wait the year. So that's what I did. And then after a year and a half, I did the surgery, did everything, did the rehab, and the Sports Shed TV charity match was on a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I was obviously absolutely dying to play because I missed 2 of them in a row. There's no way I was going to miss 3. I was coaching and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But the fire is still lit to play, right?
Yeah.
And I played, and I had a good couple of runs, and I was having a lot of fun. And then it's just weird how it even happened. Like, so there were some former players playing. I had Blake Austin and Brad Takarangi on my team, and they had Mitchell Pearce and Todd Carney.
Yeah, that's right.
And for some reason, Brad Takarangi would just see this big guy on the other team and just want to kill him. And he ended up getting him with a really good shot.
That shot was crazy. Yeah.
But the predecessor to that was him trying to get him earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out of market to tackle Abs, who I'm a good friends with. And I tried to tackle him, and haven't played in years. My left shoulder tackling, mate, it was bad back then. Probably the reason why I didn't go pro, all right? Slow, and I couldn't tackle on my left side. And it's still very bad, and I found it the hard way because I'm trying to get him down. And Brad can see that I'm struggling, but Brad also wants to smash Big Abs. He's coming to smash him, but he smashed my knee in the process. Contact. Oh. And I tore my ACL via contact, which is super rare.
Are you serious?
He just absolutely got me on the knee, and then both their weights, as I was coming down, like both their weights sort of transferred onto me, and it was like the final blow. Like, that's what I remember. I didn't even know what happened. I had to go watch it back.
Are you serious?
And even then, like, it's like the camera changed as the hit came in, so you don't even see it 100% properly.
Oh, spewing.
But it was because I didn't know what the hell happened.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. My knee just got smashed. No, but hard feelings to Brad Takarangi. It's not his fault.
It's nice of you.
Bad things happen in rugby league. I knew what I was signing up for.
Yeah, that's it.
And I had my physios were there. They're my physios now, but one of them I went to high school with, and he said, "Man, if your knee wasn't strong, you would have torn it in the first 2 runs, but you didn't. So I could tell it was strong, and that you had done a lot to come back. And it's just a bad luck injury. So now I'm not even getting the surgery. I'm just rehabilitating normally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just got to do a bunch of a good amount of very hard and strenuous and long rehabilitation exercises and heavy lifting and stuff. That's why I didn't take the coke, because if I go lighter as well, it'll just be a lot easier on my knees.
Oh, sorry, bro.
No, it's fine.
Offering I'm being a typical
No. I have
coke?
self-control, man. I don't.
Good on you, bro.
I was this close. You nearly tempted me, man.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, man.
Terrible.
Thanks be to God, he kept me strong.
Yeah. Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah. That's his
Sorry,
red,
bro.
man. It's red, evil.
That's horrible. So is that the last footy game you'll be
Absolutely
playing?
not.
You're gonna go again?
I'm psycho. The fire's lit. Until the fire dies out, I'm gonna keep going.
What a tank!
I said to Michael, my physio, shout out to him, Dr. Fit Physio in Preston, absolute legends, the greatest to ever do it.
Nice.
They weren't my physio the first time around. If they were, I probably wouldn't have torn it again. But they're helping me make sure that I come back and I'm super strong, right? And they basically said, they can tell that the fire's still lit. And I told them, one more. If it happens again, that's God's sign. That will just put the fire out. Okay?
Fair enough.
But I definitely use the time off wisely, because pretty much me creating content as much as I am pretty much was in line with my injury. So I'd only done 2 months of NRL stuff, and then we got out of lockdown. Oh, it was probably 4 or 5 months. I probably finished off that season, and it was basically right before the start of my first full season. So it would have been, around that time. And I was on live stream. That's the craziest thing. So I actually tore my ACL the first time on camera, and the second time on camera.
Oh yeah, damn.
So it's we got video documentation and everything.
That is terrible.
Yeah, I used the time wisely, because I wasn't playing sport 3 times a week anymore. I was streaming.
Yeah, fair.
And then look what it's turned into, right? I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't tear my ACL.
There you go, a blessing in disguise.
Negative into positive, man.
Amen.
But I hate this. I hate being injured. I was never injury prone. Never really missed a game due to injury.
Yeah.
Maybe once I rolled my ankle and I missed a high school game. That was pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
And that was league and basketball. The 4 years that I was playing basketball, 4 or 5 years, I didn't miss one single game due to injury. Damn. And then out of nowhere, torn ACL, and then torn ACL again. I was only back for a month when I did it again the second time, so it's a bit rough.
Far out.
Could be worse, but
you're just getting used to it now.
Yeah,
Nah, that's alright.
I like the clicking noise now.
That's concerning. It's your form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, far out. So next year, hopefully, you'll be in that charity match.
Look, that's what we're aiming for, but in my head at the same time, I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. So I'll probably be coaching again. But the year after, I will be an absolute machine and be way stronger than I was when I returned back. Because instead of returning back after 1 year, I'd be returning back after 2 years, So
Yeah. Nice,
I'm keen.
bro.
I definitely still want to play.
It's a real Max King story.
It is really a Max King story, man.
Let's get there.
He's a big inspiration for me, man. Big time.
How good is Max King?
He's someone that, you'll never in a million years hear anybody say a bad word about him. He's probably got no haters on this planet.
Yeah, surely.
Probably the devil's his only hater, mate. Because he just resists him all the time, bro.
Yeah. Amen.
It seems like that, right?
Amen.
But seeing he spoke publicly about his abstinence and how he's got strong faith in God, and it's helped him carry himself through some very tough times. He had super bad injury luck.
Yeah.
And it seems that he's just turned it around completely. There's things that are possible with the power of God, eh?
Amen.
Big time. And I never really had seen an NRL player speak about everything so openly.
Yeah.
And like I don't know why that just seeing that helped galvanize my faith. You know what I mean? And it just, in a world that's full of craziness, seeing, especially when people get famous and do things like that professionally and they're in the spotlight all the time, you see them go down the wrong path, because when you have a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of attention, it leads to some bad things and temptation, right?
Yeah. Amen.
So seeing someone like Max King stand strong and firm in his beliefs, it was something very inspiring. And then all of a sudden it went from Max King to Max King and Jacob Carraz and Bailey Hayward and Bronson Sherry and Viliami Kika, like you were telling me, and and a lot of like Stephen Crichton. It's like there's a whole group of people strong in their faith, and I feel like it gets shown on the field.
Yeah.
That's my pattern, really, that I recognize, and I think a few others have recognized it as well. It seems like this team, we're always able to come back recently, right?
Yeah.
Because they always have faith. They always have faith that they can turn it around.
So
it feels
true.
like they're powered by a lot more than human nature and their hard work. I feel like they're powered a little bit by the Holy Spirit, by Lord looking over them, man. And
Amen.
like you say, man, Lord Jesus, God's a Dogs fan, man. Well, you look up in the sky, what do you see?
Blue and white.
You tell him.
I love that. Bro, it's so true. And I was like, I on the comeback thing. So I was telling you, we were hanging out with Father Ben last Monday, and he said to me, he was talking to me about the virtue of fortitude. He brought up the virtue of fortitude, which is basically persevering through tough times. That's a very basic kind of definition of it. And he said, what greater example of fortitude is there in sport than being 20-0 down at halftime and coming back to win the game? And I go, that's perfect. And I write, like, for the sports column of the Catholic Weekly. There we go. So I was like, that's perfect. I'm writing about that, you know. And Father Ben was giving me the idea to write about it. So I wrote exactly that. Is fortitude is a virtue in it's one of the cardinal virtues in Catholicism, right? Or for all Christians, fortitude is huge, right? It's a virtue, it's whatever. So for those players, like you were just saying, to persevere in tough times has to be, for them to be like good Christians, they would have to have had practice in the real life in fortitude to then take it into the game and come back from 20-0 down. Like that is... And it's 2 weeks in a row, bro. What was it, 20-0 and 14-0?
14-0, yeah.
Like, that stuff, you can't just do that. Like, that's hard stuff. And the first one against the Raiders was good enough. Like, that's crazy.
I would have taken that all day.
Yeah.
Fortitude, mate.
I know, yeah. But then against the Roosters, 14-0 down, who, you know, I was talking to my mate about it, watching the game together. They come out with the most random stats, the commentators. Like, some stats that we were just like, who came up with that? Who figured that out? But it was like the Roosters haven't given up a 14-point lead in like 6 years or 8 years or whatever they said. And I go, yeah, there's no chance. Like, Dogs are coming back. And it's the Roosters. Like,
yep. 15 minutes later.
Bro.
Like,
best thing ever.
Bronson scores. All I hear is, even me, I was like, oh, man, double movement, you idiot. What are you doing? And I look at the replay, like, oh, the guy let go. Yeah. He put up the tackle.
He knew what he was doing, yeah.
I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, hey, man, we actually took the lead again.
Yes. Oh, my God.
And then Mark did what he did. And I was like, man, that was some freaky stuff, man. I was like, man, my knee was literally exploding, looking like he's running. And then he's like still moving forward and he's hopping on one leg. And I'm like, yeah, man, this guy must be an absolute machine on leg day. Because if I did that, like my leg would be like warped, lopsided, every ligament, ACL, PCL, MCL, meniscus, bone would all be in pieces, in tatters.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to run and pick up the kick and score. And I was like, usually I would be like, nah, look at that replay. That ball hit the line. I was like, this try was so good. I was like, Bro, just give it to him. I don't mind losing to that, man.
I
I just witness greatness. Sometimes you can only stand and applaud.
I swear, it's so true, man. And there's so much in that try that like he's not going to get credit for. Like the hop, the hop was crazy. Everyone's giving him credit for the hop, and like to be able to kick it that way and everything was crazy. But then he gets pushed out, has to come back in, step in, like infield before dragging the ball back in and putting it down, like grounding it, like everything, every little bit about that was crazy.
And the hop is crazier because like he's just getting taken out. And then he's like shrugged off Matt Burton and then he's somehow regained balance and then hopped on one leg like he's playing hopscotch and then run and picked up the ball and scored. I couldn't even believe what I saw. And I was thinking, man, all that hard work for nothing. And then I forgot that he was actually human and he dropped the next ball and then we ended up scoring.
Matt he had a terrible day.
He was somehow the best player for both teams, Marky Mark. I love him. But his 6 errors is insane. He's having nightmares of Matt Burton.
Yeah, so
and then Matt Burton scored the game-winning try just to put the cherry on top. But then in the same game, he had that like crazy flick pass to Rob Toyer.
Yes.
And he had a try double with one of the most insane tries I've ever seen. Like, he was so good that he didn't even notice he made 6 errors.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there wasn't a single Roosters fan that, like, went off at him for dropping the ball 6 times in one game because he scored, like, 2 mad tries and was doing all this crazy stuff. And he's got a sick name. How can you hate a guy with a sick name like that?
It's so true, bro. That's so true. And the hair and everything, bro. He's got... Doesn't he remind you of... do you remember... Vunikeke or whatever, what was his name? Eloni
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Eloni. He's on Instagram a lot, the one with the white. He had like the really blonde afro.
Yeah, the like bleach blonde.
Yeah, and he used to be a garbage man. Talk about being humble. Didn't you know the story? Because he didn't have an NRL contract, so like a proper one, right? So when he'd get called up to go to training or go play football, but he'd be working as a garbage man. So you had to and they work at nights. Right? When everyone's asleep. So he wouldn't actually get sleep before he had to wake up. Like, people would wake up in the morning and go to training. He would wake up, eat dinner or breakfast, and then go do the garbage man activities, right? And work as a garbage man. And then go to training.
That's crazy.
And then he earned his way to first grade that way. So it's just a very humble way of getting to the NRL. That's why nobody hated him. Besides the fact that he had a mad name and mad hair. And he was a cool dude, but he even looks like Marky Mark.
Yeah. They
just put the afro on Marky Mark. If you just got like Marky Mark to wear like one of those like Khabib like white afro things, he would look exactly like Elone Vuna. I think Vuna Keve, like something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
I don't want to butcher his name. I tried my best, man.
That's why. Yeah, sorry.
I tried my best.
We'll just call him Eloni,
Yeah.
And he was on Ninja Warrior. Did you ever see?
Was he on Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
I don't really watch TV as much because my mum always hogs it.
But
if he was on Ninja Warrior, he probably won.
Yeah, fair.
My mom's watching Ninja Warrior or like one of the many dating shows in rotation on Australian TV.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I like keeping my brain cells, so I choose not to watch them.
What a boss.
I'd only watch him if Ilan Tekers actually went on one.
Oh, no way. Does he go on them?
He went on one, the first dates one. I watched that with my mum, and my mom's like, "Is that the guy you know?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Oh, nice.
And I speak to him a lot. He's a cool dude. I don't know if you know who I'm speaking about.
Yeah. He's the British guy.
Yeah, the British guy. So he went on one, but if he ever went on like a Love Island or something, that's the only time I'd watch it because I know a guy on the show, right?
Yeah, fair.
But for the most part, I'm like, hey man, League of Legends is calling me. The boys need.
Is that what you're stuck on?
Yeah. That's I play a lot of games, man. It's like my favorite pastime, especially like without sport. There's still that like competitive flame that I need to just get out of my system.
Yeah, nice.
So playing video games is pretty good.
That's the best.
Good way to do it. Yeah.
That's mad. Bro, I one of the funniest things I've heard you say, and it's like I don't know. I died when I heard you call Matt Burton Pookie Bear.
My Pookie Bear. Even when he scored the game winner this week.
It is the greatest thing I've ever heard, bro. I actually, like, sometimes, you know, when you watch videos or something and they're funny and you just go, huh, like, whatever. Or sometimes you don't even laugh, but you're like, that's funny. You know, I actually laughed out loud when I heard by Pookie Bear.
So there were multiple Pookie Bears at one point, right? Like there still are. There's two right now. Like I had to narrow it down a lot.
Yeah.
So like Bunty was my Pookie, one of my Pookie Bears. Like now he's just Bunty. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bunty is its own thing now. Like he
I
like
love that.
then I used to like Katoni Staggs. I still love him, obviously, but I don't call him my Pookie Bear anymore. I just yell his name.
Yeah.
But then it's just Reece Walsh and Matt Burton now. That's it.
Nice.
Reece Walsh is like, he's just such a beautiful man. I can't even I just gotta call him something. And then the clip where he got knocked out by Suali'i, like I called him my Pookie Bear, like, and I'd been calling him my Pookie Bear for ages. But the thing is, like, that stuck. Like I remember if I went to I'll go to Magic Round, and people are yelling my Pookie Bear Reece Walsh like to my face because that's what they know me for.
No way.
So like that, my Pookie Bear Reece Walsh will always remain, and Matt Burton, he's my guy, man.
Nice.
Never met him, never said a word to him. Okay, I don't even think he's read one of the couple messages that I sent his way, but I just needed him to know that I love him. So if he ever sees Matt Burton, my Pookie Bear, I think I call him that as my way of differentiating myself and separating myself from the rest of the pack.
Nice.
Because no one's going to call Matt Burton their Pookie Bear, only me. And the thing is I remember seeing like the Dogs media team are posting photos of Matt Burton, and like the top comment is like my Pookie Bear.
Oh,
now, knowing
no
that
way.
people are calling him Pookie Bear because I call him Pookie Bear is the best thing, to
That
be honest.
is what an achievement, right?
Yeah, and he's my favorite player in the whole world, man. Just that simple. When people say, who's your favorite player? Matt Burton is my first name that I say when I'm talking about current players, obviously.
Wow.
But he's going to be up there all the time, mate.
Wow.
Because I don't know, me, I just latch on to like one player and they're like my guy. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds when I was, as a teenager. It was Hazem Masri as a kid. Even in basketball, it was like Kobe Bryant as a teenager and a kid. And then now it's Luka. Because Luka was the only player my age. Like, I remember, like, when I was, like, 17, and I'm, like, 16, 17, I'm like, I wonder who's going to be in my draft class. Like, my age group. And I just saw this kid playing for Real Madrid as a 16-year-old kid. They called him the Wonder Boy, and he just caught on, right? And that's why
for sure.
I'm a big fan of people and the NRL potentially putting names at the back of jerseys.
Yeah.
Because I would just love to not have to go to Peter Wins and wait an extra half an hour for them to iron on my name and number. I wish I could just go to the store and buy a damn Matt Burton jersey.
Yeah, so true, bro. It's so true. It's a huge thing. Like, it'll be a huge thing for the players, for sure. But for the spectators, like, I love that, bro. I love that about a soccer jersey. Like, some people find it weird that you get the name of someone else on your jersey, on the back of your jersey.
I do not care.
But it's the best thing because it's how you show your support to that,
Yeah,
that player.
I'm saying,
And
this
it's
is my
like,
favorite player, man.
yeah, like every time I see someone wearing a soccer jersey, I wait to see the back of it to see who they've got on the, like, it just lets you know who they, who their favorite player is, like, whatever, if they're like the basic thinkers, or if they're they like an underdog or someone,
Yeah, exactly. It's like
stuff.
I remember when I was in high school, I used to think I was funny because I would go to everybody with like a Carmelo Anthony Knicks jersey. They'd be like, "Hey, it's got Anthony at the back or Rondo at the back." I'm like, "Hey, what's their first name?" And they had no clue because they had like Jeff. Yeah, Jeff Anthony, Mark Anthony, like the singer.
Market.
Yeah, no worries, mate. But to be fair, all of the two soccer jerseys that I have don't have because I'm a Newcastle United fan. Like I watch Premier League a lot. Like a lot of people don't know this, right?
Me too.
Like, and that's why this last day, like I hate the like Monday morning games, and all of the last days on Monday morning this year.
Yeah.
But I gotta go. I can't not go because the top four, from like third to like eighth is like 1 point difference.
Yeah, bro.
So I have to go because I want Europe, and I want to. If we get Europe, I want to be there in person at Cheese Bar or whatever to celebrate, right?
Nice.
But
nice.
I started going for Newcastle because when I first started watching football, it was because of the movie Goal.
What a great movie.
What a great movie, right? And I got the kit from that movie that Santiago first runs out in.
No way.
But it's so old. I had to get it from like the Ukraine. And there's no jersey names. There's no jersey numbers or names at the back. Just a blank jersey. And then the other
that's
one,
mad.
it didn't have any, because I bought it from, I think, Ultra Football. It didn't have any name or jersey at the number at the back.
Yeah.
Ended up getting Bruno on it because that's my guy.
Oh,
Latch onto one player, right?
Guimaraes, yeah.
Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, yeah.
Yeah,
The real
yeah.
Bruno.
Nice. The real Bruno.
The real Bruno.
What a rip.
Yeah.
Right, that's mad. I have a soft spot for Newcastle. I hope they make Europe too.
A lot of
Just
people,
like-
you can't hate us, man, unless
Honestly,
you go
you
for
can't.
Sunderland. Or don't. And people, they say, Saudi money. Like, we have made one signing in the last 3 windows, and it was £10 million. And then look at us, we're still good with people that we went down in the championship with.
Yeah, bro. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
So, who do you go for?
Unfortunately, I'm a Chelsea supporter.
Oh, so we just beat you the other day.
Yeah, I
And
was kind
Bruno
of.
scored the goal.
Yeah, I was kind of glad. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because
If
we
you're
had
gonna
an
lose-
easier run.
Yeah, if you're going to lose, you might as
Yeah.
well lose to us, right? And
That's
not
right.
like United or...
That's right.
Yeah.
But also because we have an easier run, like, or we had after your game, we had Man U, who we beat, and I
You knew that was going to happen.
yeah, Man U's not that great, and it was a lot closer than it should have been. Because, bro, they're like, what are they? 4th from the bottom, 5th from the bottom, and then we have, who do we have last? I can't remember, but it's like whatever. They're winnable games, and then Newcastle had Arsenal after us.
But man, the sad thing is we beat them like 4 times this year.
Yeah, I know.
And then we couldn't beat
But
them
it's
this
al-
time.
yeah,
and,
it's
and
always
the thing is that you
different.
watched the first half, it should have been like 4-0.
Yeah, bro. How was it Raya in goal?
Yeah, Raya, but we just
He
kept
was
missing
carving up.
sitters. Like Bruno missed the sitter. Anthony Gordon was playing like he was already off to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what's going on, man. But like
Yeah.
I think
Has he signed with Liverpool?
no, but like there was so much
Oh,
noise in the off
very
season
true.
that he was going because
okay.
he's a Liverpool fan growing up, and it's like he wants to be Everton public enemy number 1
Yeah.
because he forced his way out of Everton, then came to us, and then goes to Liverpool. They'll hate him for good.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
bad. But yeah, man, for as long as we beat Everton, who we haven't beaten in a while, will be good. If
Have you not beaten Everton in a
we haven't
while?
beaten Everton since we didn't beat them this year and we didn't beat them last year.
Far out.
So
Everton.
yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
so they're like a bogey team right now a little bit,
Yeah, fair.
but hopefully we win because they have nothing to play for, right?
Yeah, true. No, that'd be good because I thought, what I thought was an easier run turns out. Oh
Yeah.
no, Newcastle had the harder run.
Yeah.
But I thought that would have been the easier. But if they're
Yeah,
the
but you had
bogey
to
team,
beat us.
that's hard.
They had to beat
Yeah.
us, but you didn't.
No, but that's why I was glad because I was like, Chelsea can win the next 2 and still make Europe, but Newcastle, I thought like Arsenal's a tougher game,
Yeah.
so I was like, I want Newcastle to win this game against Chelsea, which is bad for a Chelsea supporter to say, but I want them to make Europe too. That way they can lose to Arsenal and beat Everton. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. So if we beat Everton, I'll be one happy man.
Yeah.
Because I had I was not optimistic about this season whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
Just because we had signings that we needed to make and we didn't because of
Yeah,
financial fair play rules. They're just BS, right? Unless you're City, you just ignore them.
Yeah, or Chelsea.
Yeah, you just ignore them. But we can't sign anyone. But
Yeah, it's rubbish.
yeah, it was just a really good core group of players, man. They work hard. They play for the badge, just
Yeah,
like
I
the
love
Dogs,
that.
right?
That's it, bro.
That's all you can
so
do is you just
true.
want a team that tries.
Yeah, man, 100%. And I love when they're not like big name signings in any sport. It's like they just get the players that are flying under the radar. They don't get like all the credit and whatever. They're underrated. You sign them, and then they start showing up, bro. It's so good. I love that.
It's like the Moneyball. I don't know if you ever watched Moneyball.
No, I don't think
Highly
so.
recommend it. I don't know anything about baseball. I don't even like baseball as a sport, but it's one of the best movies I've ever watched ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the Dogs play like a Moneyball. The way they recruit players, it's like something out of Moneyball. It's essentially Moneyball means using statistics and mathematics to find undervalued players and sign them for a good contract, and you're getting more out than their monetary values worth.
Wow.
In baseball, it was even deeper than that. It was using stats to try and find an exploit in the game that will, and then if you can, like, because it's not like a salary cap in the NRL.
Yeah.
Where everyone's got the same money. You have like the Yankees that have a payroll of 180 million, and then you have this guy's team whose payroll was 38 million. So he had a good season, and then all of his good players went to the higher payroll teams, and he was left with nothing. So it was like, how do I find a loophole in the game that I can exploit through the use of mathematics? So he found the stat, which was on base percentage, like how often a player gets on base is all he cared about. And he just went and found all of these players. He completely ignored everything about their game, the injury history, off-field issues, anything like that, and just focus on that. And he was able to build a team that won 20 in a row, 20 games in a row. He didn't actually win the title, but it's the fact that he lost all his best players, did something that everybody told him was not going to work, that he's a complete idiot, a fool for doing this sort of stuff, and then proved everybody wrong that it can work. He never, still to this day, Billy Bean, who the movie was about, never actually won a title. But it's the fact that he was able to be competitive.
Is it based on a true story?
Based on a true story. And he actually, right after this season, and it's in the movie as well, he's played by Brad Pitt. Like this ain't no random movie. Like Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill are like the two main characters in a serious role. Jonah Hill was actually pretty good.
Wow.
But this guy, after that season, got offered the most expensive general manager position in sports. Like they were going to pay him more than anyone's ever been paid as a general manager at one of the big teams, and he said no because he wanted to do it the hard way.
Wow.
It's crazy, man.
What a tank.
Yeah.
What in the world?
So like I can only respect them. That's how the way the Dogs do things. They they're looking in areas that no one else is looking at, whether it's statistics, whether it's based on personality and the character traits, and they're just finding players that no one else is valuing, like Connor Tracy, like Max King, like Kurt Mann, even Drew Hutchison. Yeah. I don't say what you want about Drew Hutchison. The guy trains harder than anybody, and he just makes everybody else train harder. Because if you slack off, Drew Hutchison will take your position. That's what they're constantly thinking. So their whole culture is about training, working hard. Bronson Sherry even. Off-field issues that people are looking at, they're seeing them as problems. The Dogs found something good in him. A kid that learnt his lesson. Well, I don't even know to the extent of what performance-enhancing drugs he took. And I don't even care. I just care about the future, how you're going to be, what your mindset is. Are you going to work hard? And he worked hard to get into football shape. And look at him now. That guy's one of the most underrated players in the whole game, man.
Yeah, killing it. That's so true, bro.
And I just feel like we just got all of these guys for an absolute bargain because no one else valued them. Because they were too busy worrying about other things and weren't looking at what we were looking at.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
True. That is so true. Is that... Sorry.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Mute that, because... Is that where the sound's coming out of? I don't even know how my own laptop works. There we go. Shonky laptop.
No, you're all good.
Just had to get a cheap thing. It's a gaming laptop. I don't play any games. I just got it to write my articles.
Tax write-off, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but that's so true, bro. I love that. I love that they've done that. And like people are always stuck on the big names all the time. They're just the only people they ever want to talk about are just the usual people that the media pushes. And it's probably why they're pushing them anyway, so that they're the ones that are always spoken about. They're always the ones in the spotlight, everything, whatever. But the players that are going under the radar, they're the ones that, like, bro, they're just guns. They come and because they're flying under the radar, because they're so underrated, when you give them a chance, they want to play for the jersey. They want to pay you back for your faith in them. But also they want to prove themselves. And everyone's doing that, bro. Kurt Mann, what a...
Well, now he's got his credit. The guy's 18th man. Probably be unlucky to be 18th man.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Connor Tracy's in Dally M top 10.
Is he actually?
Yeah, because he was like, I don't know about this week, but last week he was like in the top 10. Because he's just a workhorse. He just works hard. He's so consistent. The guy made his first error all year when he got belted and lost the ball. Yeah. At like the worst time ever. I was absolutely crapping myself when he did that because I'm like, oh no, not now, Connor. Made up for it. He made it. You know what I mean? And like, look, Jacob Preston was begging. Like I actually had the privilege of interviewing him on my podcast, And his family's from Belrose, man. They were begging Manly to take him, and they said no. Went to the Roosters for a year. Gus saw him. Gus took him.
Thank God.
Debuted that in that preseason. After one preseason, that was it. He was playing every game, and when he's been healthy, he's played every game since. And he's in Origin camp right now because they're getting him ready because they know
I saw that.
he's going to be there.
Him and Adam Dewey.
Yeah.
Dewey.
Or Dwayne there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it on Danny Widler's.
Jacob's going to be there for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Even through all of this stacked back row, Jacob Preston is just made for Origin.
Yeah, man.
And where do we get him from? A team that didn't value him.
Yes.
And what do we do as soon as he played 3 good games? Extended him.
Yeah.
What do we do when Carraz played 3 good games? Extended him.
Yes.
Man, I think Carraz even got an extension after 2 games. It was so quick. His first extension. He played against the Broncos. We got an exemption for him to play.
Yeah.
He just ran his ass off, man. And then was cramping up like 50 minutes into the game because he was not used to NRL football. And then extension a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
Bailey Hayward, couple games, extension.
Oh.
They don't waste any time.
Yeah, I love that.
That's why I love this team, because they know when they have gems and they don't even leave it to chance. They just extend.
So true.
You're a beast. Extend. Hey, Bailey Hayward, we don't want you going nowhere. You're the milkman. You always deliver. Extended.
I love that. Bro, that's so true.
Gus does not waste time. Sarada does not waste time.
Yes.
We let a lot of good players walk because they didn't fit the character that they wanted as a Bulldog.
Yeah.
They
and we questioned it at the time. Well, at least I did.
Terrell May, I'm hearing he's in our facilities meeting with the team, and then we don't offer him a deal.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this,
huge.
man? It's Terrell May. We need a prop. This is the one. God's gifting us one. That's what I was saying in my video. We needed a prop for years. God is giving you one in a silver platter. Don't reject it. I'm still mad about that. But look at us now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have Leo Thompson coming.
Yeah, that's a big.
Can you imagine if we went because it's anyone's comp this year, and I don't care what anyone says, because they were all like, we lost to Brisbane. We don't beat good teams. We lose to the good teams, right? Oh, where's Brisbane? They're not. That means we don't lose. We've beaten every team in the top 8.
Yeah. That's
we
right.
only lose to bottom 8 teams now.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Broncos.
About that?
What are you gonna say now, huh?
But that was one that I thought just caught them off guard, and it was probably a humbling one for them because they won so many in a row.
Yeah, like we'll probably lose this week too because we have 12 people out, right?
That's crazy.
But it's like they will learn from it.
Yeah.
The Broncos game was simply our worst half and the Broncos' best half happening at the same time.
So that's so true.
Because we just couldn't hold the ball, couldn't get out of our own end. The conditions were absolutely horrendous to play in, and we're typically good in the rain.
Yeah.
Right, we're typically good in the rain, and we just could not play in the rain. Yet they were chip and chase catching, kicks to the corner catching, long balls catching. Couldn't drop a ball.
Everything was it was going.
Then we got 3 sin bins.
Oh yeah,
People just want to
that was
glance
sin
over.
bin round.
People just want to glance over the fact that we got 3 sin bins.
Yeah,
And
half an hour of
an
an
80
80-minute game, but whenever you look at stats, it's like 50 minutes of the game are actually when the ball is being played.
Yeah,
and there's like 30 minutes of just like outside stuff or whatever, like penalties or whatever, stoppages is what I should say. So out of 50 minutes of actual gameplay, 30 of them were with one man down, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, I actually think that when they're kicking the ball, the clock shouldn't be running.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see more ball in play. So there's 2 things for me. Like, I think they should, when they're kicking from the sideline and stuff, the clock should not be ticking. It should be stopped as soon as the try is scored because the ball's not in play. And number 2, I think if you're up by 8 or more, you shouldn't be able to take the 2. Like, it should not be an option. Just like when you kick it dead, like when you go for a short dropout and it goes out on the full, you can't kick a penalty to kick anymore.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to kick it if you're up 8 or down 8.
Really?
If you're down by 8 or more, or 6 or more, because I saw Melbourne last year, they were losing by 8, and they took the 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother, go for the try. What are you doing? Like, I'm a fan that just wants to see the ball in play and attacking football.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me lose my mind more than teams are up 16 and they take the 2.
Yeah.
Like, bro, go for the points. what are you doing? I'm a fan. Man, if I'm a team under the pump, or if I'm a team and I go a man down, I'm begging you to take the 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I want to rest. Oh, time, milk off the clock. This, that. I hate when teams take the 2 when they're a man up. I hate when teams take the 2 when they're up 12.
Yeah.
Like, dude, play the game, man.
Yeah,
Why are you worried about them coming back? Just score.
Yeah, so true.
I think if it's close, the 2 points would be worth a lot. But teams don't realize, they know when you're going to take the 2, and they're completely fine with it. Because in their mind, they probably got to score 3 times to win when you're up 12. And then you, like, when they're down 12, they got to score 3 times to win.
Yeah.
And when a mindset does not change when they take the 2 points.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't think it takes.
That's true.
I don't think
it drives me crazy.
I think it just makes me, when I was playing, man, and they took the 2. Didn't happen often, but when it happened, I was cheering. I was not worried about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, mate, I'm glad they did it, because to me, it tells me that they don't think they can score on us.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's a good point. It also drives me crazy when they take the 2, but I'm a bit different to you. Like, I think them as players, and as a team, I think, yeah, it makes sense why they're taking the 2. But me as a spectator, a lot of the time, not all the time. Like, when you're up by 8, for example, like you were saying, to go for the 2 makes no sense to me. Like, why would you? If you were up by 10, you would go for the 2 to make it 12.
12, yeah.
So why are you going to make it 10?
We did that against the Cowboys last year, and I lost my mind. And I said, I hope we lose now. So they never do this ever again, and then we lost. Because Tom Dearden set up, I think it was Purdue or something, and they ended up scoring and winning. They scored 2 times and won the game. And I was like, yeah, screw yous. You deserve that. Take the 2 again. I dare you.
Yeah, so true.
Even Nico Hines this week took the 2 up 7 to go to up 9, or up 9 to go to 11. I'm like, what is that going to do, man? And he missed it.
Trippy.
I was like, yeah, good on you, man. That should teach you a lesson.
Oh, far out. Yeah, that as a spectator, I'm the same. I just want to see the ball in play. Go for the try. I love that. I love seeing that. But again, yeah, I'm more on the side of, I get most of the time, at least, when they just go for the 2 or whatever. I'm like, fine. Sometimes even they need a rest, even if they're 16 up. You know, they're like gassed. So you go take the 2, whatever. But it's all right. Did you see the team? Oh yeah, I think we spoke about it a bit before.
Yeah.
The team named?
Yeah, Blake Taffet center.
Yeah.
A lot of outs. A bit
Right,
worried about
crazy.
this week, because I think he's going to be on Herbie.
Oh, is
I'm a
he?
bit worried about, yeah.
He's going to get ripped against Herbie, isn't he?
Yeah, but like, no matter who you play is going to get ripped. Do you really want to play Jonathan Saw in his second game against Herbie?
Yeah, true. But Herbie, sorry, I'm just getting it up on my phone. Herbie Farnworth, I think, is, like, he's obviously dangerous in attack, but I don't think he's the greatest defender. I think he's good with one-on-one tackles, but I think that's only when he puts himself in a position to make a one-on-one tackle. I think he's pretty easy to exploit.
I rate him pretty highly on both ends, to be honest, but maybe I haven't been watching him enough. But I love Herbie on both ends. I think he's like pretty much the perfect center, man.
Really?
Yeah, like I really, really rate him, to be honest.
Wow, that's
like,
crazy.
England have got a good gem. Did you ever hear the story? He was in like Manchester United or Manchester City's academy when he was a kid.
What?
Yeah, he was a footballer, like soccer player.
No way.
And then picked up rugby when it was like in his early teenage years.
That's crazy.
He was in their like junior academy.
Far out. So in early teens, he just goes from soccer to footy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hasm, isn't it? Hasm was a soccer player before, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't in no Manchester United or City Academy. I think it was United Academy.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy, man. No, it's very hard to get into those things, man.
What happened? Did he just leave it to play footy, or did he not make it or something?
I think so. Maybe one day I'll ask him, get the full story off him.
That'd be mad. Please God.
Because they say it like, like Damien Cook's a beach sprinter. They always say it. Like, they always say it with Herbie.
Yeah, fair. Oh, that'd be a good story to know.
Yeah.
Far out.
And I love
Avrilo's
Herbie.
in fullback.
Pardon?
Did you see Avrilo's in
fullback? Yeah, where he should be.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
a damn good fullback, man. It's gonna be like the good old days watching. Well, the terrible old days, but
yeah.
he was like my glimmer of hope.
Wasn't he, bro?
Yeah.
Far out. You know, I played with Jake at Bankstown Sports, right? And he was a halfback back then. And then he like ended up playing in the higher div because he was a much better player than
Yeah.
than what I was. And he was always the type. And then I think he moved to Moorebank Rams or something. But I remember seeing him and going, like, just watching him play and going, and also kind of the way that his dad was like with him. You just knew that his dad was going to help him become a footy player. Like, he was serious about it. And I remember just thinking, this guy, like, people always used to say this, and I used to go, oh, yeah, all right, like, you think you knew or whatever. But it's true. Like, I used to look at him and go, this guy's serious. Like, he could actually make it. He was just always just serious about it, like gun. And then I never saw him play anything but halfback, at least from memory. But then he comes in, and I saw him in the Bulldogs, playing cup for Bulldogs in centre. And I was like, okay, it's interesting. Carved up there. Then I saw him move to the wing, and I go, interesting again. And he carved up there. He moved to 5'8". It was a bit tough because he was playing 5'8" next to Burton at one point, and I think next to Kyle Flanagan as well at another. And like, he didn't do too badly. His running game was solid, but there wasn't much to show. And then he moves to fullback, and bro, that was just his position. He was killing it, bro. Do you remember that intercept against the Eels?
Yep. That was the day I got my first suspension from Twitch when I was there. So, and I had COVID. That's why I wasn't at the game. I had COVID.
Oh, spewing.
That was the day I got caught the night before, and it was like a 24-hour ban.
Why?
And the 24-hour came at like 28 minutes into the Tara and Dogs game. And I would have gone to the game, but I had COVID, so I couldn't go. So I was just like,
spewing.
28 minutes in, we're up like 18-0, 24-0, and I'm losing my mind because we had not been in Parramatta in so long.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved Averillo, man. He was legit my beacon of hope, my glimmer of hope.
Yeah, bro.
For so many years, I still can't believe he like debuted in like 2017. Like
Dude.
we've had 8 years of Jake Averillo.
No way.
Because I looked at my I swear it's 20. Because I looked at my Snapchat memories. I don't use Snapchat much, but it came up and it was like me when I was like 18, and it's like a video of him kicking the goal, and I think he had just scored, and I'm like, look at the future, look at him, isn't he cute?
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I swear, like,
Are you sure it was 2017?
I think so, man. I couldn't believe it. He said 2017, and the memory, and I'm like, man,
He would have been 17 or 18 then.
yeah, he debuted pretty young.
What?
I would
How
Google
have
it.
8 years gone by, bro?
I don't know. I couldn't believe it. I hope I'm wrong because it would make me feel very old.
That's crazy. I actually want to know.
I'm trying to look this up because maybe I'm tripping out.
I don't know.
But I have no reception here.
Mm. Connect to the
2020.
internet,
So
sorry.
I was just totally wrong. Completely. I don't even
You're
know
not
why I said
far off, but
2017.
5 years still.
Yeah, at the age of 19, quickly made a name for himself, and I was like, "That's crazy."
That's insane.
Sorry, completely forget that. I don't know. Maybe it was bugging. I don't know. But
No, that's all right.
I was tripping out myself. I'm like, "There's no way I've seen this bloke play for 8 years of my life." Like,
Surely.
nah.
But even 5 years, bro, is crazy.
Yeah.
What in the
Round
world?
2, 2020.
That's insane.
And he played everywhere, and then I swear it was like Mick Potter was like the first one to they throw him in there properly.
Yes.
And man, he was just so good when he played there. And I think that's his best position. So again, I'm a bit worried about this week.
Yeah.
Do I have any meaning or value in this game? Absolutely not. But like, because we have so many people out and it's origin period.
Yeah.
But I still think we could somehow win, man.
Me too.
I can see it,
Me
but
too.
it just depends how good Nikarima and Katoa are.
Oh, Katola's deadly. Bro, how good is he?
So it's something special for a kid his age, man.
Yeah, man.
Something very special.
He is carving up.
Yeah, he's the perfect halfback. Yep, perfect young halfback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He backs himself, bro. He's like, I love that. He's
He's-
not hesitant, nothing.
he's got confidence, man.
Yeah.
He's got swagger. Like, Like, he doesn't care what if it's a big stage or a small stage, he's always going to play the same. So,
So true.
yeah, man.
And it's a quiet, like, humble confidence.
Yeah.
He's not cocky or anything. He just knows his ability.
Yeah.
I love that, and backs himself.
Yeah, you gotta respect a kid that's mature like that, you know?
Yeah, right.
If I was that good, I don't know if I'd be able to stay that mature.
That's so true. No, it's actually, and it's somewhat like rarer for someone his age who's carving up the way he is and getting the attention that he's getting to just still be so chill, so humble.
So calm.
Yeah, so calm.
He is very calm.
Such a gun.
And he beat Melbourne, man. He flogged Melbourne. And it was all through him, man. You just got to respect it.
Bro, I love it. Hey, how good was Lipoi Hopoi against the Roosters?
It's the most unsung hero. I had to make a video about him so that people knew that he had a great performance.
Did you make a video of him?
Yeah, specific.
I missed that
like,
one. It's really...
Like of him, not with him. But like, I made that I was just clarifying because like I've video with him. That mean I'm connected, man.
Yeah, yeah. Another Christian, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even better, right?
Oh,
And I mean, you'll just see a pattern. That's
the
all I'm
Bulldogs,
saying.
right? Yeah, I love
I
it.
see a pattern, man. But he was instrumental, man. We lost Saluki for Fafita early, and he came in, stepped up, done a really good job, and kept us afloat. Now he's starting this week, and I was really upset to see him like not be in the rotation early in the season.
Yeah,
but
same.
he's a damn good player, and I don't know if Underhill's on that bench or reserves. He's one that I'm really looking forward to.
Same. Yeah, he's in the reserves
because he's coming off an injury. So,
oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he would have debuted a bit earlier, maybe if he didn't have an injury. But he had an injury.
Spewing, because I'm thinking like Sam Hughes is included on the bench, which I assume means that he's all right. But Gus said he was like 50-50, so
I trust Gus. He said he's only going to rush him if he's ready.
That's right, yeah.
But I still think Lipoi will be in that team.
For sure,
and
it has to be.
I think he will probably be part of our plans of the future for sure.
I hope so, man. That was an incredible performance. I was like, because I like that we start Saluka Fafita because he's a bigger body, and so I think it's just good to start, even if he gets minimal minutes, to start with him is important because then, like, it's just good to have a bigger body to not get just out-strengthened, out-powered by the other forwards just early on, and then it sets the tone for the rest of the game. He can jump off and not come back on, it doesn't matter. He just sets a good tone with a bigger body. So when he went off, right, I was spewing. And especially the way he went off, bro, because Lenu was killing us already.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
His running was crazy, and he dropped the ball twice, but no one cares.
I don't care.
He ran
it's like no one need to watch it. You don't care when they're doing stuff like that.
It's
like
so
he just nearly killed him, man. He dropped the ball, but bro, I don't care. He dropped my player. I hope he runs softer and holds the ball.
Yeah.
The players do too. I kept
Exactly.
saying he's like using like Fast and Furious NOS. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like just to make him run that extra bit faster.
Right.
He's like a wrecking ball, that Spencer.
I swear. That's why I still wanted him in Origin. Because that sort of thing, even if he was dropping the ball, like we said, it galvanizes a team. It really G's them up, generally speaking. And especially in Origin, it would. But then, yeah, Hopboy came on, bro, and he was running as hard as Lenu. He was just going at it, bro.
That's what you want to see from a young player, some hunger. Like,
yeah.
if only every forward in NRL ran as hard as Curtis Moran and Lipoi Hopboy do.
Yeah, man.
Curtis Moran runs like Spencer.
Yes.
But he's just way smaller than Spencer. So he's like,
yeah.
And a lot of people don't know who he is. But I see Curtis Moran. And I just want everybody to run like Curtis Moran runs. Just full intensity, full speed, fearless. I'm
fully with you on that, bro.
And that's what Spencer does. For a big man, they say he runs at the small guys. I don't see it.
Yeah.
The only guy to ever stop him was Tane Milne, mate.
Oh, yeah,
That was
that's
it.
right. With an illegal shot.
Yeah. Many illegal shots, but still.
Yeah, so true. But that is... Because Curtis Moran's contract runs out this year, I'm pretty sure. And my mate and I were saying he would be... We don't want to see him go. But it seems like... I don't know. I reckon Dogs are just going to let him go. Which is sad. But we were saying he would be the perfect pickup for the Panthers. Because he can he can be their Spencer Leniu. Like, he can just replace what Spencer Leniu used to do. Come off the bench and just be absolute impact, especially in their system. And he's a cheap buy, bro, for them. So with all their salary cap issues, because they can't keep all their star players, bro, get someone like Curtis Morin, you're set, especially off the bench, because they don't have the best impact off the bench now, the Panthers.
Yeah, they could use a bit of spark, and he's got it in bunches, right? And I also feel like I don't want him to go anywhere, but we have like a lot of back rowers and players that play the same position coming through.
Yeah.
That have a bit more physical tools and are a bit younger. And I think a team like the Warriors would do like so perfect for him.
Yes.
Like I would love to see him go to the Wires because they're like sort of like my second team a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be so impactful there. And I would
So
and like
true.
they let go of Dylan Walker because they got Aaron Clark and stuff. But I could see him being on that bench spot and doing a good job.
Yep.
And the defensive system's pretty much the same.
Yeah, so true. Bro, that's a Panthers or Warriors, 100%. He'll carve up either place.
I love him, man. I don't want him to go, but
Me too.
I want him to it's probably best for him to leave.
That's right.
And
yeah.
I know the team won't stand in the way of what's best for a player.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sad reality, but oh well. Bro, I reckon this is the last thing on the Bulldogs, because then we've got more important things to talk about. But this is my hot take, okay, that I said this last year, after Bailey Hayward made his debut. But I was saying this way before because I used to watch him in Cup playing halfback, and his kicking game was just on point. The way he controlled the team was crazy. He was just old school structured halfback, which the Bulldogs were missing at the time. And I was thinking, bro, just chuck this guy in. But even though he's killing it in the position he's playing now, as a utility or coming on as a lock, playing as a middle forward, whatever it is, he's carving up. And I love Toby Sexton. I think he's doing a great job. But I'm not of the opinion that Bailey Hayward needs to replace Matt Burton. Some people are saying, I always read the comments. That's insane to me.
That's insane.
I'm of the opinion that Bailey Hayward should be our starting halfback, at least for the moment. I know that Mitch Woods, we're trying to bring him up like slowly or whatever, but Hayward in halfback I think he's a more consistent player. I think he's better at organising. He's got a better kicking game than Toby Sexton. And I reckon he would free up Burton even more than Sexton does already.
It's really a good situation to be in, right? It's tough because you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
I think. Look, I always thought the club saw him as a lock, but then they went and signed the Dragons' Fainu Latu, who looks like to be the lock of the future for us. Like I feel like Kurt Mann, because he's 32 years old, probably doesn't have a lot of football left in him. He's been playing for a long time, Kurt Mann. I probably think he was going to take the reins over Kurt Mann. That's why they really wanted to get him. They really want to get him in this season to start getting our fingers onto him and blooding him and raising him the way that we want to.
Yeah.
Rather than the way the Dragons want to. So I can definitely see him being a really good lock, but it looks like we've got our lock for the future, right? So then you got to look at the two positions because he's not replacing Matt Burton. It's just like Matt Burton is, if he's not our best player, he's our second best player. And people don't realize how important he is.
Yeah.
He's not 100% with his knee. Like you can see how much strapping there is on him. But he's coming back because we play way better when Matt Burton plays, right? His long kicking game, unbelievable. Like again, he showed it. Like the guy needed to kick 2 40-20s on the weekend. If it wasn't for James Tedesco being super wary about him, he would have kicked 2.
Yeah.
It's always on a dime. Everywhere he wants the ball to go, he goes. And then he's obviously got that torp that he hasn't been putting up because it ends up working against us half the time because nobody wants to try and catch it.
Yeah, yeah.
But when somebody tries and catches it, they're probably going to drop it.
Yeah.
And he's just so integral. However, look, a lot of people saw the Sexton contract extension stall and immediately thought Lachlan Galvin. And I do think that we do have our eye on him, but I don't think we're actually going to go ahead and sign him because it doesn't seem like he meets the character traits that we seem to value very highly.
Yeah.
Like selflessness, you know what I mean, off field,
So
like,
true.
and he's a good kid, but like obviously there's a lot of stories coming out about him and you know a weird environment that he's in, probably sort of caused by himself potentially. I don't think we are going after him, so I could definitely see Bailey playing there.
Wow.
I have a philosophy that we heard a bit of noise about Reid Marnie potentially leaving, and I think there's an equal chance that Reid might go somewhere else, and then Bailey plays hooker.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what we're gonna do. I think the 7, he played really decent at 7. He had a couple of dodgy passes, like that Sharks game, like the 2 assists or the 2 passes to Preston. Like behind him.
Yeah,
Preston
yeah.
caught it anyway. But
So true.
but everything else in that game, he just seems so calm, Bailey. And every game he plays just gets better.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's the reason why the Toby Sexton contract talks have stalled, because he might be able to use the fact that their first 3 games without Matt Burton as leverage for more money, because he plays a position that gets paid the highest, number 7. So who knows? Like, but again, if Toby walks and Bailey plays there, like, I'll be upset because I think Toby will become a really good half. Like, I think he's good now, but he's only going to become better, right? He's 23 years old. A lot of people seem to forget that. Halves are aging like fine wine now. You look at guys like Jamal Fogarty and Daly Cherry Evans and Ben Hunt, like, they're all really good into their mid-30s. So Toby has that level of expertise when he's 30, 31, 32. Imagine how good he's going to be.
Yeah.
But you just got to look and see what's best for the team. Where you're going to spend your money. We could have a real Moneyball 7 in Bailey Hayward that we extended for cheap. And he's there 7 this year, 7 next year. And then Mitchell Woods will be 2021, ready to take the reins. And you could play Bailey anywhere.
Yeah.
In this, like, you could play him at 9, 13, utility, and he's perfect. So I'm keen to see what they do. Interested to see what they do. And I trust whatever Gus and Serrata decide to do, I trust them.
Yeah. Honestly, same. I've learned that over time.
But there's one man that I really want to sign, and that's Jacob Little. That would be the ultimate Moneyball signing, mate. If we can somehow... He's off contract this year, I believe, and I wouldn't stay at the Dragons if I was him, because them getting Damien Cook does not give me a vote of confidence. You know what I mean? That maybe they don't think that his level of play is sustainable, but he's playing out of his mind, and he's the Dragons' best player.
How crazy!
And he comes off the bench, and they look terrible until Jacob Little comes on, and he changes the game every time. He changed the game against us, changed the game in so many games.
Yeah, and
he's off contract, and I'm just like, come on, man. I would love a player like that on my team as a backup 9, or even man, who knows where he can go.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm keen. I'd love to get him.
That's crazy. That's a big take. Would you take Martin Tapau just now as a backup?
I don't think he makes the team personally, but like we do need a bit of size, and I wouldn't mind bringing back Marty for a swan song. Because he's probably at the back end of his career, the twilight of his career. So seeing him back where he started would be pretty sick too in the cornrows.
I'd love that. Yeah,
he was so good with us, man, and then he left to the Tigers and became an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be opposed to it for getting back.
I reckon just to get him as like, because now look at our team, like
very young.
We've got 12 players out. He would have just fit in perfectly if we had him as a backup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, it's just me looking from the outside, but I would happily get Marty Tapau. Just say to him, look, this is whatever, like, we want to sign you on a contract, but you'll be playing mostly cup, and then you'll be a backup. You know, you jump in whenever we're
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think that you're ass, bro. That's why they got rid of you for liking an Instagram comment or that your former teammate friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he'd have a chip on his shoulder. What's there to lose, right?
Yeah. And it wouldn't be on big money or anything, you know?
He'd be on the minimum.
Yeah.
So, Marty Tabau, man, if the boys want you, come down.
Yeah, 100%. I love him. All right. We're going to talk big stuff now. And this is I don't know, it's like, it's something I'm confused about. I don't know how I feel. I'm like, I'm here and there about it. And it's State of Origin. And I think if we just get into what I want to do is, you know, just talk about Origin in general, like the teams and everything.
Yeah.
But then I want to end up getting your prediction for game 1, because this is going to come out the day of game 1.
No, this is sick. Works perfect.
Yeah, it's it has worked perfectly, thank God. So I want to get your prediction of the winner, your man of the match, and the score. Cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do it.
So I think New South Wales will win, and I think it will be 13 plus, and I think the man of the match will be Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, big call.
Yeah, good. People talk about Origin gay guy, and he was amazing in Origin, and it's like every time he wore a Maroons jersey, he would just be like, he'd just be powered by something else, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Latrell Mitchell is on that same level. When he puts a sky blue jersey on, all the fat jokes stop.
Yeah.
All the doubting him stops. If people do doubt him, he will just make them cry at the end of the night. And he's going to have a 10-gamer on him who did all right when he was playing in the centres against the Roosters, right? And then he moved to 6 and he threw that crazy bullet pass and they won the game. But Robert did do a good job, a better job than I thought. And Robert Toya is going to be a really good centre, and he is a good centre now. But we're not talking about Latrell Mitchell with no halves and no players around him, and he's just on an island alone. Like, this is Latrell Mitchell with Brian Toya next to him. He's going to have Angus to the right of him. He's going to have Mitchell Moses to the right of him. And he's going to have a field day out there. That's what I believe. And even from, like, when I picked a Queensland team, I did not have Valentine Holmes in the centres. I actually didn't have him in the team at all, because I just thought you had to put Cobbo or a big body in the centres to try and not stop Latrell Mitchell, because you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he can do a good job to contain him, but I just think Latrell Mitchell's probably going to get 1 or 2 on Wednesday. And I think he's going to win not only man of the match, but I think he'll probably win the Wally Lewis medal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big call.
Yeah, that's been my call for like the last few weeks. I just think he's going to be unstoppable. Like what Turbo was in 21. People forget how unbelievable he was in 21 as well. He only had 1 less try involvement or try. Like he had so many tries in that Origin series. He was unbelievable in 21 as well. But just overshadowed a little bit by Turbo.
Yeah.
So I think he had like 1 less try involvement than Turbo did that series,
so
and
true.
and I just think he's going to be an absolute weapon that they're going to need to have the game plan to stop, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. And then who's next to Rob Toya? An absolute lemon defensively, Valentine Holmes. Just a lemon, mate.
That's fair, but I like Holmes on the wing.
He's a good player. Has been the
him.
ball in hand. This year he's been just making me angry watching him play. Like the game at Magic Round, I was like losing my mind watching him play.
Yeah, fair.
Because he just dropped the ball. Like Valentine Holmes is a good player back in the day, unbelievable. But I think he's starting to lose it a little bit, and it's crazy. He makes the same money as Stephen Crichton does.
Does he really?
Yeah.
What? That's insane. I mean, he's not like at the end of his career.
No.
He's nearing it.
But you can start to see the decline. Like he's not the same Valentine Holmes as he was when he was 26.
That's right.
And the Dragons have signed a lot of players like that. It's very weird. They have such a good young crop coming through. Then they have players like Gutherson, like Damien Cook, like Valentine Holmes that are like going to start to decline a little bit. Under their contract tenure. So. But yeah, Valentine Holmes on the wing will be sick, ball in hand, but if he's just a defensive liability, and like I think Latrell Mitchell, he's got a young 10 gamer next to him,
Yeah.
what's he going to be thinking? You can't leave him on an island with Latrell Mitchell. I got to help.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Latrell's going to bag 1 or 2 tries, 1 or 2 try assists, man, and I think he's going to run rampant.
I hope so.
Yeah, but I
really
do
hope
think
so.
we'll win 13 plus in the Origin Arena.
Wow.
I think we would have
13+.
won. I think we would have won if he was playing in Game 3 by a large amount as well, because
Wow.
Bradman Best played in Game 3.
Yeah. I rate Bradman Best too, but obviously not. I mean, I was calling last year in Game 2 for Bradman Best to replace Suoliti instead of Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah,
I was wrong to not want Latrell in there, but I reckon I still think Best is great. But
he hasn't lost the game, man.
Latrell's crazy, but
Bradman Best has not lost the game in the Origin Arena.
yeah, true.
And he hates Queensland.
Yeah,
Laurie
love
Daly
that.
press conference today. I met him I met him twice in 1 week.
Oh yeah,
Disappointing.
yeah.
You hate Queensland. I don't hate anyone. I have no enemies. All right. But I hate Queensland in Origin time.
That's right.
It's not a strong word. It's the perfect word to describe Queensland.
Exactly. Laurie Daly's he's probably my only concern. Like the poor guy. I don't want to bag him out or anything, but he just seems, and I don't know if it's just that he seems this way, or it's like, or yeah, I don't know. It's representing really what's going on. But every time he gets asked about Origin, he just seems a little lost in his answers, and I'm like,
yeah, he doesn't want to give a
this is
straight answer.
concerning.
He's just not giving the media anything.
Is that what it is, or is it that he's genuinely lost?
Come on, man. He's done this. He's done this for a very long time. He's been an Origin coach for a long time. And a lot of people bag him out because he's only got like 1 or 2 series wins. But he's got to understand he's versing the most OP team ever.
Yeah, so true.
And he was putting up a fight even with Mitchell Pearce for a lot of these ones. You know what I mean?
Worse
Yeah, all right. There were some bad selections, like Kurt Gidley off the bench, captain. I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably wouldn't have done Kurt Gidley at all for most of those years.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have picked Mitchell Pearce. But in hindsight,
Yeah.
there weren't many better halves than Mitchell Pearce at the time, and he'd be amazing in clubland, and then you go and pick him. But
Yeah.
I didn't like, when I was growing up, I didn't like a player more like. There was no player I disliked more than Mitchell Pearce, but now that like I met him and shared a field with him, I can't really not like him.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, to be fair, like he wasn't that bad. Like you sort of had to pick him based on how he was in clubland. But some people, they don't translate to Origin, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But you know who did translate to Origin? Josh Reynolds and Trent Hawkinson, mate, because they
Was
played.
that not, and that's credit to Daly again, because he had the guts to just out of nowhere pick those two in the halves.
And what do? Josh Reynolds just got under Jonathan Thurston's skin, under the whole Queensland team's skin, and beat him. So there's something, that I think we've got that level. We've got mongrel in this team in the forward pack. I don't think Queensland have tried to go very small and very mobile. I don't know if it's going to work against us. Even though we don't have Terrell May, who I think should definitely be in the team, this forward pack is still really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And if Payne Haas is healthy and he's playing, give him a needle or whatever, he's going to have a very good game. Their forward pack is a little bit better with Tino now. They didn't have Tino last year.
Yeah.
And I think he's been great, but I think that they're going to lose the battle in the middle. And the way Cherry Evans has been playing, I don't really expect this kicking game to be on par with Mitchell Moses and Nathan Cleary's. And even though I know Jerome Law and I play video games with Jerome Law all the time,
That's crazy.
I still haven't met him. I've only played video games with him, but we play so often that, like, I speak to him on a regular basis. You know, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
But even I didn't have the guy that I play League of Legends with in my Origin team.
Yeah.
Because I tried to stay as unbiased as possible, and I'm just a big fan of having a long-range kicking game in Origin, because the Origin series that we lost when we had a better team, we lost the battle in the middle, and we only had one good long-range kicker, Nathan Cleary, and they would just rush him every single time.
Yeah.
Now he has help with the long-range kicking game, and the secondary long-range kicking option is Mitchell Moses, who is a longer distance kicker than Nathan Cleary is. And even if those two somehow get marked out of a possession, you have Latrell Mitchell who has a bigger boot than all two of those guys.
That's so
You know what I mean?
true.
So we have a lot of long range kicking, and I think that's where our strength is going to be. And I think that's why we're just going to be on the front foot. We're always going to be in good field position. We have psychopaths like Mitchell Barnett and mate Spencer Lenu, and then Angus Crichton, also Liam Martin, all psychos. And then we have balance in like the calm guys like Payne Haas and Max King, who I'm absolutely so stoked to see him in a sky blue jersey. No one has ever deserved it more than Max King. It's a crazy call, but you listen to this guy's story and where he came from, all right, and how he's just, nobody ever notices anything he does unless you're a Dogs fan or you're a footy guy.
Yeah.
And Max King wholeheartedly deserves his jersey.
Yeah.
To see where he came from in 2021, 2022 to now is crazy. So good on you, Max King. I've glazed this man so much recently.
Yeah, but he deserves it.
But it was something that I said in round one and in preseason. Like, I think he's going to be in the Origin conversation. And what do you know? He gets picked and he deserves it, man. So I think we'll win that battle in the middle. And I think when you win that battle in the middle, it's just so much easier for everybody else to do everything.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, so I think they're going to go crazy, and I think Latrell Mitchell's going to have plenty of ball, and he's going to cook.
Love it. I love it. I also think that New South Wales will win. I reckon though, I had New South Wales by 10, and I don't know, something's telling me, I don't know, but something's telling me that Dylan Edwards is just going to have a cracker game. And I reckon he'll be man of the match.
He always has cracker games, but he's just always under the radar. Like, nobody notices. Like, Dylan Edwards is a guy, man, he's playing all right, and you look at the stat sheet, 270 meters. Okay, bro. Sorry, so man, I just didn't see your bald head running around 270 meters worth. Good job, mate. He's just one of those, like, and I feel like the people that vote for man of the match, they don't see that either half the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he's going to have a really good game. He's just going to be overshadowed by the guys getting all the points, mate.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I reckon, I don't know, I think, because I couldn't believe that there was talk about him even being dropped from the Origin squad. That's insane to me.
Put some respect on his name, bro.
Yeah, man. Like,
one of the biggest, like, big game risers ever.
Yes.
Dylan Edwards. He, like, played his best games in all of his biggest games.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, that's a player you want in Origin. And also, this is another very unpopular opinion that I have. And people will go crazy when I say this, but I think Tedesco just never really showed up in Origin. And
that's just crazy.
That, I know
that
you say that.
That is actually crazy.
But this is what I mean. The only series that he ever killed it in was it 2021 with Trebojevic and Latrell carving up. And it was just off the back of momentum and whatever. I know positionally he's great, defensively he's great. I just think he didn't offer much.
He saw the series winning try in 2019. Series winning.
Yeah, but so what?
And he was insane in every one until the one he got out jumped by Lindsay Collins.
That was embarrassing.
That was the only bad series he had. And he wasn't even that bad. He just wasn't James Tedesco standards. James Tedesco arguably had the best 3-year run of any player to ever play the game.
Yeah, Clubland,
including rep football too.
I don't know.
James Tedesco was him, man. Don't disrespect one of the GOATs, mate. He's the second best.
Know.
Might be the second best fullback to ever play the game.
Ooh.
Might be.
That's a big call.
Yeah. It is a massive call. But you look at the numbers and his body of work, he's done everything. What is it? There's Billy number one, and then you have guys like Minancello, like, come on, but he's up there too, man.
I don't know. Matty Bowen, Preston Campbell.
I'm sorry, I'm picking Tedesco over both. And I love Matty Bowen, and Preston Campbell's one of my favorite players to watch ever.
Wow, but you're going Tedesco over him.
The guy was making 220 meters a game and doing all this stuff for 4 or 5 years straight. Yeah. He was like Ben Barber, Turbo, Hayne, but like consistent. Not 1 year,
Yeah.
You know what I
guess
mean?
so.
And he won 2 comps. You know what I mean? And he was incredible in Origin those years. I don't know. I disagree with
know.
you there.
Clubland, I fully agree, but I think Origin, he didn't offer much. I don't know. That's my unpopular opinion. I just think, and maybe I always say this, I have a bias against the shorter, like the shorter fullbacks.
But you just said Matt Bowen.
I know.
And Preston Campbell. Like, they're 2 of the shortest fullbacks.
I know, but there was something different about him. And they stepped up all the time. And I know that Tedesco people say always stepped up.
Yeah, he did.
I think in Origin, I don't think he played bad in Origin. I just think he didn't offer enough. And so when he got dropped, I was like,
I think this is
I'm
a
happy.
little bit of recency bias, what we call recency. Some people become like Dorian. I'm victim of it. You just become like Dorian and you forget all of the good because the guy had a couple bad games. All right? I can't be like that, man. I don't care if I see Marty Tapau run 5 games in a row. He runs like 50 meters. I still remember prime Marty Tapau.
Yeah.
And prime Tedesco was like for 6 years. He's an incredible player, man. He is an incredible player. He was an incredible player for the Blues, for Australia, for the Roosters, for Italy, mate. Whatever he plays for, he's a gun.
Australia, yeah, he killed it. I don't know. I just think in Origin,
You just don't
maybe
like
it was
Italians,
the rest
mate.
of the team.
You probably just don't like Italians, mate.
Not at all. Not at all. Nathan Brown, bro, I love him.
I forget he's Italian sometimes, mate. I don't mind a bit of Luca Moretti, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
Daniel Alvaro.
What a throwback. Daniel Alvaro. Does he still play?
I don't think so.
I was going to say throwback, and then I was like, wait.
That was
he's
only
not
a couple
playing
years
anymore,
ago.
is he? Yeah, but like, it's not a name you usually hear. No, I don't know. Maybe I was just angry at the whole team.
I think he's just
And
angry.
Tedesco's just
This
copying
is
it.
what I used to do with Mitchell Pearce. You just focus on one bloke.
Maybe.
You just don't forget
I
about how
fully-
OP he was, man.
I don't know.
He
I'll
was
go
a
back and watch.
statistical anomaly for a very long time.
Yeah, but
Then
stats.
Dylan Edwards came, but he was bigger than his stats. What guy do you see that short, just break tackles with fens, left, right, and center?
Yeah, he's great.
He
at
was
that.
super strong for a guy his
But
size.
but that's
And
all
he's got
he
the
ever
bunda.
did.
What do you mean all he ever did? There was nothing he didn't
All he
do.
ever did was like run sideways and like he was breaking tackles and like he was
he was just doing the most one of the hardest things in the game.
No, but like
scoring
follow
tries,
the play,
getting
bro.
tries, his
Like,
run
why-
meters, line breaks, tackle breaks. He was just only doing all of that, but like he didn't do like the one thing that I like, where he did it with a smile. He didn't do it with a smile. He always looked angry. That's like what your nitpicking is like right now, Anthony.
No, it's like, all right.
What's
look,
Father Ben's opinion on Tedesco?
No, I'm sure he'd be a fan of Tedesco.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would be.
Yeah, he would be 100%. But like, no, look, he's like, all right. Look at Jerome Luai as a halfback, right? All he's doing in attack, all he does, which is bugging me because I have a soft spot for the Tigers too, is he'll call up like he'll be organising a play. He'll get the ball and he'll do the usual Penrith 5/8.
Yeah,
Move.
double step. The double
Step and cut back in and whatever. And I'm like, just finish the play. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But finish the play. That is what I felt Tedesco did most of the time in Origin. The play would just die because he'd just cut back in, and then he'd be doing his own thing. And I'm like, just play, run the play.
Yeah, but forcing something is not the right play.
Yeah, but don't
Hail
force.
Mary, but
He's
if
like
you
the
want to
second
complete the
receiver.
play,
You're
yeah,
not
but
forcing
going
it.
back into the middle is allowing the rest of his teammates to do something that is going to be a higher percentage play.
Yeah, but he's not a part of that play to take the hit up for everyone else to
It
organise.
doesn't matter.
He's got to run the play.
But then if the play dies, you cut back to the middle, and like we did
No, I don't
2
have a problem
times and
with that.
scored on the weekend.
Oh yeah, but that's a set
Teams-
play that the Bulldogs are doing now.
Yeah, because
wasn't
teams
just a
are
dead
susceptible to the back to cutting back to the middle, and a
Yeah,
sharp
fair.
change in direction.
It's a good.
And not many players can change direction quicker than Jerome Luai.
It's a good point.
But he's also playing with people that probably aren't in the spot that they're meant to be as well. You have to. I feel
Yeah.
bad for Jerome Luai because he has to play dumber to play with the Tigers' backs, just like Nathan Cleary has to this year. Sometimes
So
it's hard
true.
for him to play dumber.
Yeah, so
And
true.
Jerome is also doing the thing that he shouldn't be doing, but he is he's sacrificing to be a very good teammate.
Yeah.
He's letting other people shine, and he doesn't care about the spotlight. He's just there to make sure that everybody is happy and everybody's playing the game that they want to play, and he can adjust to that.
Yeah.
Me, I'm paying a guy $1.2 million. I want you to be the focal point of everything. But he's doing what the team needs him to do, and the team needs him to take a back seat sometimes. That's what they believe they need. Me personally, I think he should be the driver
Yeah.
and not Lachlan Galvin. But he was a very good teammate to Lachlan Galvin. He took a back seat to him.
Yeah.
Now that Lockie's on his way out, I probably wouldn't take a back seat to him.
Yeah, fair.
But
I
I
agree
really
on
rate
that.
what he's doing because a lot of players wouldn't be doing that.
I agree. With that fully. I think I love Jerome Luai's style of play. And I think, he's a natural 5'8", like he kills it in the number 6. But I've said it before, if anyone's going to turn Jerome Luai into a solid halfback from just being a natural 5'8", it's Benji Marshall.
Yeah, because he did it.
So
He did it himself.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm keen to see how he goes. But I also think Luai is unlucky to miss a spot. In my team, I would have picked, when I was discussing it with mates and stuff, I picked Moses and Cleary too. But then I was actually thinking about it, and I go, man, you lose a lot. Like we were just talking about Josh Reynolds getting under Queensland's skin, and then Hodgkinson was able to just control everything, and he was underrated himself, bro. He's one of my favourites ever too. But you lose that when you lose Luai, because I don't think anyone in that team gets under Queensland's skin the way Luai does.
Oh, big time.
And it's a massive loss, bro. And also defensively, I think he's a better player than Mitch Moses.
I think Mitch is better defensively, right? But Mitch usually plays on the right side, right? Now he's going to be defending on the left side. So he's going to be using the shoulder that he's not used to using. So I think Jerome will be better defensively if he was to play left side. But it just depends.
You think Moses in general is a better defensive player than...
I think Moses was one of the worst defensive players I've ever seen in my life. And then he's become a very, very good defender.
He has gotten better, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a bigger body, man. Like if he hits, there's a bit more substance to it. But Jerome is a good defender too. Very willing defender.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, and I was sad about Jerome as well, because not only is he like, do I get to have fun with the bloke, you know what I mean, and have a laugh with him and stuff. It's the fact that, like, and I always hype him up for this, because whenever we're playing in a game, he's just like, oh, I'll just surrender. I want to go to the next one, and we're going to lose. I'm like, Jerome, do you forget what you did, mate? When it was deadlock, when nobody could score, when nobody could break the game open in game 3, you broke it open. And you're scared of these little 12-year-olds playing this game. What are you doing, mate? Wake up to yourself. And all the boys laugh. And I just give a speech every time. And I'll always do it, because when game 3 was deadlocked and nobody could break through and nobody could score, Jerome Luai was the one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's really unlucky, eh?
And it's slack. But it's just... my mouth waters of Mitchell Moses and Nathan Cleary playing together.
I know.
Nathan has a running 6 work. Sorry, Mitchell has a running 6 works.
Well, he came up as a 5'8" anyway at the Tigers, and which I haven't found many people have even mentioned.
No.
And also, they're saying like 2 dominant halves and all that stuff. Bro, look at Thurston and Cronk.
Lockyer and Thurston, Lockyer and Cronk, Lockyer and this guy. And there's like, when you're that good, you put whatever baggage and whatever ego you have at the door when you enter the Origin arena. You're playing with the GOATs, like the greatest of the great, the best of the best. You do whatever it takes to win the series. And I know that Nathan Cleary and Mitch Moses, they both understand that.
Yeah.
And I listen to 6s and 7s, which is Mitchell Pearce, Todd Carney's podcast. They just had Mitchell Moses on. And you hear him speak about playing with Nathan Cleary, and it's very apparent that he's completely fine with playing second fiddle to Nathan Cleary. Because I'm pretty sure he remembers the time that Nathan Cleary beat the brakes off him 1,000,000 times over, especially in the grand final. So if that's not going to make you respect somebody, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think the Blues are going to have a very good series, and I think they'll win in Suncorp. They'll probably win in. They could really 3-0.
Yeah,
like I'm getting ready for the broom. I'm getting my broom ready.
Wow.
I think if they win in Suncorp, it will be a 3-0.
I hope so.
And there has not been a sweep in a very long time.
Yeah, I know. Again, my only concern is Laurie Daly.
Again, I think Laurie Daly gets a bad rap, and he's not helping his case by not picking Terrell May. But
Yeah.
the way I see it, and this is the way I think, is he's got Craig Bellamy there as an advisor, and Craig Bellamy beat the Tigers 64-0. And yeah, like, okay, Terrell May is a very good defender in my opinion, but he plays 73 minutes, and they're not. And Craig Bellamy exploited that, I think. Every attack places where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
However, people don't realize that if he played 50 minutes, he can put effort into all of those smaller parts of his game that he's lacking because he's playing 73 minutes. Like, I don't know if you have ever played on a football field, but 73 minutes on a regular football pitch will make 90% of you spew. And this guy's playing 73 minutes in every single game on average.
That is so true.
And he has every right to not be 100% committed to every single play because they're playing him 73 minutes because they have to.
In the middle of the field, man, that's crazy.
It's insane. And the way the speed of the modern game,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Payne Haas does it too. He takes players off sometimes, man, but they don't judge him because he's Payne Haas. He's been doing it for years.
So true. That's a great point.
And although I think Terrell May's been doing it for years, because I think he was great off the bench last year, he was even better the year before in that finals run that they made, the Roosters to make the finals. He was incredible. And he just was under everyone's radar. I obviously rated him super highly, wanted him at the Dogs. Honestly, I wanted him in Origin last year. But I think he's got to do it for a little bit longer and be on a team that's doing a little bit better so that people can recognise and give him his credit.
Yeah.
But even though Laurie is not picking him, and I feel like part of it is because of Craig Bellamy in his ear telling him not to, but that's just me. That's why Stefano's there instead of Kalol Matangi or someone like that because Craig Bellamy influence. But I think I'm not giving too much stick to Laurie Daly because I think he's actually not a bad coach at all. Maybe talk about his team selection and everything, but the way we played in Origin wasn't too bad. It wasn't stupid. Like, we played a pretty good brand of football. It's just who the hell they're versing. Only the bloody greatest teams that have ever been assembled in football history, and the best state of Origin team ever with like multiple future immortals.
Yeah.
What can he do with what he had? Not Kurt Gidley. And you know what I mean? Like, far out, bro. You know what I mean? The closest thing he had to a player of their caliber was like Jared Haynes.
Yeah, I was just about to say
That's
probably Jared Haynes.
That's it.
Yeah, it's true.
He beat him. He beat him he beat him in 2014, and nobody had us winning in 2014 except Dogs fans that knew Josh Reynolds was the key, was a bloody Origin player, and that he was. That's why you can't always look at the stat sheet when you look at Josh Reynolds, mate. You just look at the eye test.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big
grub guy.
Yeah.
You're a big grub guy.
100%, bro. I love him. I love
You love your grubby players, mate. Mick Innes, Josh Reynolds.
But you got to be a funny grub, you know? You can't be like one of those people that everyone wants to hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Michael Innes was one of them.
Yeah, that.
Like,
everyone watching wants. To, you gotta laugh at it. You know, spectators found it funny. Everyone hated Ennis. I remember Andrew Feeder saying he hated Michael Ennis, and then he came to the Sharks and he loved him. He was one of the best guys. He's a leader. He was saying Ennis took him to the side, and he goes, "Where do you want the ball from dummy half?" He's like, "Where do you want me to pass the ball? Is it up on your chest? Do you want it lower? Do you want it whatever?" That's the detail Mick Ennis went.
He's methodical, mate. He's methodical. And you look at him commentating and he's like that too.
Yeah.
I feel like he puts a lot of effort into everything that he does.
Yeah, man.
And that's why he's so good.
100%.
People don't like Mick Innes because he loves glazing certain players, but I love hearing him talk about other hookers. Like, I watched the Sharks and Storm game on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Blake Brayley was legit outplaying Harry Grant and was probably one of the best players in the park. And the only one that was calling it out was Mick Innes, mate, because he knows. Yeah,
so true. Oh, I love. He's a footy brain, bro. I love him. I love everything about Michael Innes. I love. I could spend the whole podcast talking about him, so I'll stop there.
Can you imagine we had him in 2014, mate, in that grand final?
Oh, and 2012 he played injured, did he not? Like, he was.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't have a fully fit Mick, and he was key.
Man, the only thing that grand final was missing was that in 2014 was Luke versus Innes. Because Luke got suspended, Luke got suspended, and then Innes got injured.
That's spewing.
Sad times,
that
mate.
hurts. That hurts.
That would have made that great grand final. Even though we lost, it was a lot of hype going into that grand final because South's biggest fan base in NRL had not won in 42 years, 46 years. My
Yeah.
whole family goes for Souths.
Oh,
I watched that
really?
game at Redfern Oval.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
15-year-old me, only Dogs fan in Redfern.
How did you survive?
Well, I don't know.
That's crazy. And I'm keen. I'm keen for this Origin series. I think the only thing that really, well, there are two things that like bug me a little bit about the New South Wales team in particular, but it depends on the style we're playing with. So if we're playing similar to last year, I don't mind the fact that Reece Robson is playing. If we're playing similar to last year, if we're trying to play a more skill-based game, then I think he's the wrong choice. I'm a big fan of Wade Egan. I think he flies under the radar a lot. But I feel like we're going to play a similar style. So Reece Robson, I don't mind. Look, I like Connor Watson. I don't have anything against him. I think he's a good player. And I was laughing at Father Ben last year because he picked Connor Watson in his
I
Origin
saw in
team.
his back row.
Yeah,
He
in his
him at
back row. Yeah,
second
like,
row.
come on. That's a bad choice. In the back row, he put Connor
You
Watson.
could put Connor Watson anywhere.
You reckon he just comes up?
The only position he's ever not lined up as is a prop.
What?
I think he's played everywhere, like
That's
but prop and
crazy.
wing, from before the game, right? But I think even he's filled in that wing because of injuries.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, like he's a great utility. Like I don't have anything against him. I just think, and again, I was saying this to my mate, is you play Moses and Cleary in the halves. The only thing I'm concerned about with them is that they're both injury prone. They've both been out for a period with injuries this year alone, but even prior, and they're playing in a really physical game. Origin's different physicality. So while Connor Watson can fill in the halves, it baffles me how Matt Burton isn't the number one choice in 14 in utility, and it would work perfectly because if Moses gets injured, if anyone in the backs get injured, he fills in, or even at lock, he could fill in, right?
Even back row could fill in.
Yeah, he literally fills any position except prop, and hooker, who cares? Like he can still play there anyway. It doesn't matter. But I just, if Moses gets injured, he slots straight into 5'8", and he defensively he's a gun. In attack, who really needs to explain about Burton in attack? He's a gun. But then if Cleary gets injured, then Moses moves to halfback, and again Burton just slots into 5'8". I just think that's a huge risk in such a physical game for two halves who have gone through their fair share of injuries recently as well, that you don't have someone like Burton in 14.
Yeah, I get it, but I also understand that Connor Watson's a good half as well. Sanders Smith went down at Magic Round within like the first 5 minutes of the game, and Connor Watson played the whole game in the halves and killed the Dolphins. He killed them. He was just everywhere.
Yeah.
And and he did a good job last year, so how can you not pick him? And I know Laurie likes Matt Burton because he completed my sentence when I asked him on a podcast I was on. I was asking him if he was fine with the 18th man playing club football. And before, he didn't even know I was asking that question. He thought I was asking who the 18th man's going to be. And he said, Matt Burton, because he knew I was a Dogs fan from our dialogue early on. And I was like, yeah, he's a great player, isn't he? But are you all right with the 18th man playing club foot? And he said if they're in the earlier part of the week, yeah. But Saturday, Sunday, I need him there. And I'm like, fair enough. But he finished my sentence, which means he was definitely looking at Matt Burton as 18th man, potential utility. He definitely rates him.
Yeah.
But I think Connor Watson just does the job. He's just even more Mr. Fix-It. Like if he plays that lock, if he plays in the back row, he's going to be better than Matt Burton. If he plays in the centres, he won't be better than Matt Burton. If he plays in the halves, he won't be better. But he'll be better than Matt Burton in more positions. Hooker, back row, lock, bloody fullback even. He's played fullback for multiple seasons.
Yeah.
And he's solid in the halves. And you know what? He works hard. Well, I want him in the team. If Father Ben likes him, how can I? Father Ben was actually the one that made me change my mind about Connor Watson.
What?
Yeah, seeing how he explained Connor Watson and his selection in the team. Did I want him in the second row? No, but I wanted him in the team.
Wow.
If I didn't want him in the team over Matt Burton, however, if he got picked, I saw it, I understood it, and he's a damn good backup hooker, and that's what he's going to play.
Yeah.
But me, I want Appy in my hooker.
Yeah, that's fair.
He just sees the game 2-3 plays ahead. He's got the connections with Cleary, the connections with Yo, the connections with Edwards. He's just always zippy. He knows I never see this guy run and it's not a good run because he's predetermined nearly. And if it's not, and something crazy happens, and his team gets a crazy quick play ball and they're not set, he's already gone.
Yeah, the game's in slow motion.
And he just killed them this weekend. I had him in my team before he played this week.
Yeah,
He's just shifty, and he's incredible on a bad team in a mediocre pack. I just can't imagine how good he's going to be. Even now. He's even better now than he was a few years ago. He's kicking 40-20s now.
Yeah, he's a gun.
I just think he's the perfect line to play in this team, where we've got a million guys that get quick play the balls, a million guys that run the ball with 100% venom. I just think he would absolutely kill Queensland. And Reece Robson did an amazing job last year. I think Reece Robson is going to do a great job. And I really rate Wade Egan as well, but he just gets knocked out way too much.
Yeah, another
Wade
injury
Egan
prone.
for me.
Yeah, true.
He's just his head is a knee magnet. That is the only problem I have with Wade Egan. The percentage that he's going to go into the Origin arena and just get knocked out by a knee is just way higher than every other hooker and maybe every other player in the league, mate.
That's fair.
I don't know how he's even able to I swear there was 5 games last year he got knocked out.
Yeah, but it's less this year.
It's less this year,
You
but
know,
then what are the odds is going to happen in Origin?
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time. And I love Wade Egan.
Yeah.
So I get you. I love him. And I think he'd be great in Origin. But I just think he's just missing. He's just not Appy. And he's not Robson.
He's crazy.
They're 2 very good players, man.
But I think if you're playing a skill-based game, then Appy's perfect.
He's the greatest.
But I would put Appy off the bench.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Because then you can only play 2 positions, 7 and 9.
Yeah, but I don't mind that.
I want versatility.
Fair.
They have a problem, Queensland. Queensland have a massive problem. If a centre goes down, they have one option, Bo Firma. That's it. A guy that's never played centres. Maybe a little bit of centre.
Yeah, a bit of centre for the Titans, but he's not a...
I would have picked Kurt Capewell on the bench too.
Yes.
Because Kurt Capewell has gone to another level this year. And he's been really impressing me. With not how amazing he is, but just how solid he is. He's just solid.
Yeah.
He's playing in the centres, no complaints, works hard, does his job. He plays in the back row, no complaints, does his job. He was super versatile. I would have loved him in Origin. And he's done it before.
It's true.
But I don't know. I would have picked him if they have 1 or 2 backs go down. They are absolutely screwed.
I fully agree with that. But my only thing is with Queensland, actually I have a couple of things, and all unpopular as well with Queensland. Actually, before we get onto that, let me ask you. The reason I still think Burton is the number 1 utility is because this player isn't as experienced in NRL yet. But I would still go as far as to say if he was picked, which he was never in the conversation, but if he was picked, he'd carve up. I reckon as 14, at least for the future, Jamie Humphries.
Yeah, he's definitely got the physique. He's a good player, Jamie Humphries.
You look unimpressed. Why?
I look unimpressed. I didn't even know he was New South Welshman, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I don't know why I thought it was English, but that's Dodd. But he'd be mad. He'd be sick.
He's literally anywhere on the field he can play.
Yeah, I think so, but it's just a bit premature. Let him.
Yeah, I know.
Let him get some experience. You know.
Yeah, that's why I still say Burton is the number 1 utility for Origin, in my opinion, still. But I think even in a year's time, Humphries will be in my opinion, number 1 utility for Origin.
Yeah, big time.
He's just a beast, man.
Looking at his arms, mate.
Oh,
Puts in the hard work.
Even Hayward, but as well.
Hayward would be sick.
Yeah, these players are. But Queensland, are you ready? You're gonna kill me for this.
What?
Probably. I wouldn't have started Ponga in fullback.
Yeah, I definitely would have.
I just
He's just so good in Origin.
I know, but if you think Wade Egan is going to go down in Origin,
Yeah, but who else are you going to
Ponga.
pick? Jai Gray?
You're going to hate me for what I'm about to say. Listen. I don't care about experience in the NRL, okay?
You're going to pick Jai Gray at fullback?
Nah. I honestly.
What do you mean, no? Who else?
All right, you ready?
I don't know.
Bro, I'm going Jaden Campbell.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
AJ Brimson I would have preferred.
Hear me out. No. He's great. AJ Brimson.
AJ's mad, and he was sick in the Origin that he played.
Yeah, but again, it's the bias. You can't. He's too short.
He's not even that short.
He is.
He's not.
AJ Brimson.
AJ's pretty big, man.
Nice short.
I saw him at Magic
bro.
Round. He's not that short.
Bro, imagine any of our
Jaden
backs.
Campbell is insane.
I'm telling you. Listen,
No, because okay, he's a sick player. Dad was a sick player. He's a cool dude, and he's been playing 7 all year. Hasn't even played fullback.
Yeah,
this
but I don't
year.
think he's a 7 first.
Yeah, but he hasn't even
but he's
played
still doing
fullback
well
this
there.
year. And
Doesn't
then
matter.
Latrell Mitchell's gonna make a line break, and then he's like gonna be a D in headlights.
All right, listen.
I think that's a bit crazy.
I know. Everyone would say that, but I am not of I don't care about NRL experience. Like you have to play this many games, and like to play Origin or whatever. What I saw from Jaden Campbell in fullback when he was playing last year, and also in 5'8", was enough for me to just go, this guy's a like he's the real deal. Listen, no, actually no, I won't say this. You'll go nuts.
You have to say it now.
Let me start off by saying this. Oh, I'm scared.
I'm not gonna hurt you, man. I'm a nice guy,
I know you are. No, you're a
and I won't
champion.
judge.
Well, you're gonna judge, but it's all right. I don't mind it.
I don't judge.
You're a champion. I love Connor Tracy. Okay, I love Connor Tracy. I think he's great. I don't have a single problem with Connor Tracy. But if I'm the Bulldogs and I have the chance to sign Jaden Campbell and play him at fullback, I'm doing it every day of the week.
Yeah, that's fair, but I think he's contracted there long term.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's fair. That's
I just
totally
think-
understandable.
Okay,
It's the
that's
same
cool.
with Caleb Ponga
No, I wouldn't take Ponga at the Bulldogs.
over Connor Tracy. Did you okay? Caleb Ponga is surrounded by like ants.
Yeah,
Like it's that simple. He
Yeah,
has no half. There's no half in his team.
but if
He gets the ball and everyone's like, "You go yourself, Kalen Ponga. It's fine."
and he does.
It's like they're all bludgers. Like they're just that go,
Yeah, so
Kalen.
true.
Go. You know that like they have the group assessment, and that Kalen Ponga's the one that does everything. And then he's the one that when they do bad, he gets flamed. Not everybody else that does nothing. Kalen Ponga should be the Origin fullback. He should be able to lose his spot.
Listen,
And I'm not picking Jaden Campbell at fullback.
Ponga. If Ponga wasn't as injury prone as he was,
He's not even that injury prone this
yes, he
season.
is. Ponga,
This season,
bro, he was
played-
like limping at the end of last game.
it
by
happened.
the end of
Everyone's
it.
limping at the end of every game.
Yeah, but I reckon if Origin isn't that weak, he goes off, doesn't even play the rest of the game. He
He's
just
played.
stayed on, injected. He's sweet,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Like if he can do that, he'll still carve up. But I just think New South Wales. I think Origin is a physical game, right? But I think also this New South Wales team is playing a physical brand of footy that I haven't seen at Origin in a long time.
He's going to get belted. I'm telling you now,
I think he's going off game 1.
if he goes off, it's the risk that you take. But he's getting,
it's not
he's
worth it.
getting absolutely belted. Because I'm telling you, if Jaden Campbell plays, he's going off too.
Nah,
because
he's
he's
tough.
also injury prone.
No, he's not.
He
not.
is.
He's copped a few. Like,
He's very injury prone.
no,
And he's very scrawny and lanky. He's going to
yeah, but he's
get
tough.
he's gonna get belted. They're gonna kick, and then he's gonna get his head up and he's gonna do that little jink in his step and he's gonna run, and then Liam Martin is gonna kill him. He's gonna have a dislodged rib.
No, I'm telling you, Jaden Campbell is a tough player.
He
can,
is tough,
I think
but so
he's
is
more
Kalen
physical than
Ponga.
Ponga. No,
Kalen Ponga did to us in game 3 a couple years ago something I've never seen. I've only seen Billy do that shit to me. And GI when he played the one game at fullback and we lost 52-6. He killed us. We could not tackle Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, he's
That the sole fact that he might play like that is insane
scary,
because there is a 0% chance Jaden Campbell plays like that, but there might be a 5% chance Kalen Ponga plays like that.
I disagree.
And you have to give him a crack. But I think they even pick Reece Walsh over Jaden Campbell.
I think you could
and AJ Brimson over Jaden Campbell.
Nah.
And because he's not playing fullback.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does.
Not
and they
for
weren't
Jaden
even
Campbell.
that good with him at fullback.
Who?
The Titans.
Yeah, but Titans aren't good with anyone. Titans are just a rubbish team.
Yeah, because they got... I'm not going to say that one.
Oi.
I was going to say because they got players like Jaden Campbell, but I like Jaden Campbell, so it wouldn't work out.
That's sad. Nah, I rate him so highly.
But
That's
regardless,
Jaden
Jaden Campbell plays. New South Wales still get the brooms out, lad.
Probably, yeah. But I just think Ponga can play centre or he can go 14. My other thing is, I think both Fermor should be starting over Jeremiah Nanai.
So, same. Well, I think over Ruben Cotter.
Oh, yeah, Cotter is...
Because he's in back row. I would have assumed they played Fodder Waker off the bench and played like Cotter Cotter at lock and Carrigan and Tino at prop.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't really see a lot of like try scoring threat from Ruben Cotter in back row.
Yeah, me neither.
Because he's super undersized.
You
don't see it because he plays so much bigger than his body.
Yeah.
But he's undersized, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I can't remember who else I had in the back row. I had a completely different
but Bo was
pair
good.
of second rowers.
But Bo's good.
Yeah, Bo Fermor I would have had starting.
Yeah, Jaden Saw too.
Yes, Saw.
Yeah, I don't. I don't even have him on the team.
No, not at all.
Because the thing in Magic Round happened right in front of me, and I can't get that out of my brain.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
When he dropped like right in front of me, and then Bullo ran and scored all the way, and I'm like, "There goes your origin, Jaden Saw." I don't know. Yeah, 4-on-1, and you ran it, and you fucked it. That's pretty bad. Part of my language.
That's all right.
That's my biggest sin. That's my biggest sin, man. Like potty mouth. Probably the last sin that I got left, man.
That's fair. Yeah, it's all over the post. It's all over the post.
Yeah, there's always one problem that we got, man. That's my big problem.
That's it.
We just live in
Work
a country.
in progress, bro.
We live in a country where it's like normalized and like we don't even mean anything bad by bad words.
It's actually
so like I don't even.
It's so problematic.
I told my mum, I'm like, my mum hates the C word.
Yeah.
And we live in an area where everybody was saying the C word and we don't even mean it in a bad way. Having to explain to Americans when I call somebody a sick C word, it's actually like a Medal of Honor in Australia. And like, that's not, I don't think that's a sin, but Father Ben would probably tell me it's a sin.
Yeah.
And the Bible probably tells me it's a sin. And I probably, that's the hardest thing. It's the thing that I can't shake off because it's like deep rooted into me.
No, it's hard.
The potty mouth. It's the hardest thing for me.
It's hard for heaps of people. Like, it's part of the vocabulary. You're right. It's just normalized now in society. So it is tough. No, I get it.
I'm damn lucky it's a venal sin, huh?
Yeah.
But
no, like you said, we all struggle with something.
We all struggle with something. A lot of us struggle with more than just one something.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, the one thing that I cannot shake off is the potty mouth. My mom tells me, you gotta stop swearing, Fred. It's gonna stop you from getting bigger deals, from growing in life. And I'm like, Mom, I don't think you understand my audience, mate. The second there's no more curse words, mate, I'm less funny. And I can't even help it. Half the time it's not even me yelling. Like it was not even me yelling when the 18th sin bin of the round happened a few weeks ago. That was just a different entity.
That's filthy, that one.
But that's just me. But I'm trying my best to shake it off. I can usually flip the switch and turn it off. But we've been here for a few hours now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But like the switch only lasts a couple of hours.
You've been doing well,
I forgot to flip it. It took me like however long it was for the first swear word, you know?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. No, I won't keep you much longer.
That's fun. I'm loving it here, man.
I appreciate it, bro. You're a legend. But yeah, that Sua is the other one I had. And I think that was an unfortunate error. Like, that's a bad one to make.
That's not why he didn't make it.
Everything else he does.
That's not why he didn't make it.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But I think he just hasn't been very good this year.
I don't know. I think he's one constant in the Dragons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. But the other thing is, I want to ask you, would you have picked DCE?
No.
Agreed.
I was even I honestly thought that like I know I would have picked DC for game 1.
Okay,
But if he screwed up and didn't play well, there's a better player than, in my opinion, at current Munster and current DCE. I think Dearden's better than both of them.
Oh, that's fair. Where would you have played Dearden in halfback?
Like if so, I actually thought that with the fullback situation, he was going to play Munster at fullback and then have Dearden and DCE. But I just don't think Munster's got the legs for fullback anymore.
Yeah.
So it was, Dearden off the bench will be great. I think Dearden might be the best player that Queensland actually have.
Yeah.
And I rate him super highly. Now, he's not close to prime Munster, but current Munster, like if Dearden was on Melbourne, we'd be looking at him being the best player in the world.
Yeah.
But he's on the
Munster's
Cowboys.
showed glimpses as well this year. Like he's
been really good. He was very good on the weekend too.
Yeah. But Dearden, you're right, is probably Queensland's best player.
Yeah, and he's off the bench.
But I'm kind of happy with him off the bench.
Yeah, I
just think
as a Blues fan, I'm definitely happy he's off the bench.
True.
But DC has just not been DCE this year.
Yeah.
Both
but he'll step up in
mentally
Origin.
and in his play. So,
yeah. But
I had DC in my team, but if he doesn't play well round 1, maybe after this series, if he doesn't play well this series, I'm definitely looking at Dearden at 7 maybe.
I think I would have been happy with Dearden off the bench. I'm also like, I don't mind that DC is playing game 1 if I'm a Queensland supporter. But personally, I think there are 2 better players that you could have gone with, and this is fully acknowledging that DCE is a different beast again in Origin.
Can I guess are you gonna say Jamal Fogarty?
Yeah,
he's amazing, isn't he?
Bro, what a player!
And Tommy Dearden. Don't say Janie Campbell.
No, it's not Jaden Campbell. I would have put him in 7. I'm still set on Jaden Campbell at 1. But no, the other is who I didn't even know was a Queenslander. It was Braden Trindle.
Yeah, I'd still pick DC over Braden Trindle, but Braden did play very good on the weekend too. He's
carrying the Sharks team. I think he's a gun, but I just think, again, this comes back to, bro, I think New South Wales is just playing a different brand of physical footy. They have, like you mentioned, psychos in their team, bro, who just, they're gonna kill Queensland. And I think Ruben Cotter is going to be like victim number 1 of that from the forwards. But I think DCE can't match up to their physicality. And I think Fogarty can. And I think if Fogarty wasn't available, then Trindle could above DCE. That's the only thing. It's the physicality that's getting me.
Yeah.
But I think Fogarty, bro, is...
I think DC can definitely keep up with the physicality because he's dealt with it for so long.
It's different. That's why I think they lost. It's not the only reason I think they lost last year, but I think part of the reason is, even though DC came out with like a freakish 40-20 out of nowhere and all this stuff, I think
DCE, like, we got to see him in the Origin arena to finally count him out, but he hasn't been himself this year. But I think he can keep up with the physicality. I just don't think he's himself anymore, and he's getting older.
It could just be that.
But I would still pick Dearden over those 2. And I don't think Trindle would rise to the Origin arena.
But do you think a Munster
That's
fair,
Dearden would
fair
work.
on the Trindle thing, but you think Munster Dearden would
Munster
work?
Dearden would work very well.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It's like 2 5/8.
Nah,
Dearden
grew up playing, like, he was a 7 coming into the league.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't.
And I think he'd be a damn good 6 or 7. He's just one of those players that are just very good.
Yeah, he's good to have on the field.
And he's just elite defensively, man. Probably the best defensive half in the comp.
Yeah, workhorse, bro.
Yeah.
Absolute workhorse.
He's a football player.
Yeah. I don't know. I have, like I warned you before, didn't I? I have the most unpopular opinions ever.
Yeah.
But, I back myself in them.
That's fair.
Jaden Campbell, fullback, bro.
Yeah.
Ponga to the centers.
Believe in yourself, man. Don't worry about other people.
Thanks, bro.
Melbourne 9th, remember that.
The problem, yeah, true. The problem is, though, I think I had Bulldogs 12th this year anyway, or something like that. So I get you.
I had us 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6th place.
Oh no,
And I had
I think I
Para
had
in the
them
8th.
8th.
I had
Bulldogs
Para in the 8th position, number 8. But that was before Mitchell Moses got hurt.
Yeah, fair. No, but the problem is with my opinions that they're mostly off of just the eye test. Like I just watch and I go, I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing here. So then when I try and defend my opinions, I'm like, I don't have stats to show for it.
Yeah, you just
like,
passed the eye test.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't tell you based off of stats why I think Jaden Campbell deserves the fullback spot. Actually, if we were to talk based off of stats, Campbell's nowhere near it, in my opinion.
You just like Jaden Campbell.
I just think, bro, from what I've seen from him, is just a different... Bro, he's got shades of his dad, and it's scary because I haven't seen a player with that sort of, like, talent I've seen, like, there are players with all different skills and talents and everything, but with that kind of talent, like the old school, just like that agility, that vision, the positioning, like Ben Barber's positioning was insane. You can't teach that stuff. And I think Campbell has that stuff.
He's got flair.
Flair is the perfect word.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take a risk.
And I love that. And they're not as stupid risks as Reece Walsh. And I like Reece Walsh. I think he's a great player. And I love that he's not even fazed by the mistakes. Like, he just does it again, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane mental to be able to do that. I think Campbell takes more calculated risks. Still, not all the time. I think he still takes, like, some crazy ones. But most of the time, they're more calculated than Reece Walsh, in my opinion. But that's not to say that I don't think Ponga should be the... Like, I think Ponga deserves it. But I'm just saying I'd go a bit crazy if I was Slater this year.
Yeah,
And just pick,
that's fair. Everyone's entitled.
Experiment, you know?
Yeah, I like it. I like people that think differently and not like everybody else, like a sheep.
I appreciate that. Thanks, bro.
So, Jane Campbell, if you see him there one day, I'll message you.
Bro, one day, we're going to see him in there for sure.
One day, in like 6 years, maybe.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It'll be like way down the track.
Yeah.
But I think he's a future Origin player for sure.
Can't wait to see if it becomes true.
I really hope so. Otherwise, this is going to age very poorly.
It's all right, man. I've got takes that age 42, don't worry.
I love it. That's about the chat, I reckon.
It's a good yarn, eh?
Yeah, man, we went for a few hours, like probably almost 3 hours now.
I can go for longer, man. But
what a gun! But I know I'm cautious. You have work tomorrow.
yeah, the good old Jerome Noir line. We all have work tomorrow.
We all have. Oh yeah, that's right. We all have work tomorrow. I don't want to keep you too much longer.
I appreciate it. No, we can
so
always
much.
go round 2, man.
You're a legend. I'm so keen for that. Maybe we could have a panel of just like celebrities on, you know?
Let me make a
The
few
footy
phone calls.
celebrities. What a legend. Let's do it. And we'll just talk footy, bro.
Yeah.
You know? There are so many episodes where we just talk faith. There are some episodes where we can just talk footy.
Man,
But
I
if
can.
there's faith in it, I love it.
Man, I can just talk faith too, man. I can yarn about anything, especially our Lord Jesus Christ, man.
Amen, bro.
I don't know many others that can do the same.
I love it. There's, just before we finish up, there's the wall behind you is empty. It's got a few holes in it, but I wish that we had. There's something special coming to hang on that wall there, and I wish we had it for this episode in particular.
Is it? Can I guess?
Yeah, go.
Is it a Bulldogs neon sign?
No.
Okay.
Why did you think that?
Because I saw it on Marketplace and I was like, that's damn cool. Tell me what it is. I just wanted to guess.
Well, what it is, and this is going to be cut because I don't want anyone to know until it's here.
Yeah.
For this.
Don't worry, man. Round 2.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully round 2 it'll be up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks so much for coming, bro. And your willingness to come, to stay, to talk, to just chill, bro. You're a legend. Thank you so much.
It was about time, man.
Yeah, bro, agreed. Thanks for offering.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I love to go against the grain.
Yeah, that's the way, bro. That's what we're called to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're called to do. So, before we finish up and before I forget, we have our ATG canvas. I forgot to warn you about this. I've forgotten for the past probably month now to warn before the episode. So sorry to put you on the spot.
That's fine.
But our ATG canvas is every guest we get on, we have them sign their name, signature, and then just whatever message you have or favorite quote or Bible verse or whatever. Am I putting you on the spot? Are you
No. I got a favorite Bible verse, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, man. Typical. It's the same. Me and Critter have the same verse.
Oh,
Philippians 4:13, bro.
I can do all things. Is that?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So
I love that.
And that's been playing in my head over and over non-stop the last few months, man. So
Bro, I love that so much.
I just hope I can spell Philippians, bro.
Do you want me to get it up for you?
No, I should be alright.
Just, however you're comfortable to put it.
I'll go down here.
Beautiful.
Jason Saab, I didn't know he came through.
Yeah, Jason Saab was the first one of this season. First episode.
He's a very, very nice man. I'll give you my full name and an AKA Hectic Fred.
I love that. Yes, please. Do you want me to hold it for you?
Oh, yeah.
Legend.
My handwriting's terrible, man.
Everyone says that. If it's legible, bro, that's all we need. Jokes. It doesn't even have to be. I'm not examining you. You're sweet. And I forgot to ask you too. Oh, you know what I forgot to even mention? This is the first time, I said it to you over messages. This is the first time on the podcast I got to wear my Bulldogs jersey.
Yeah.
What an honor, bro. Because I was like, if I'm having Hectic Fred on the podcast, I've got to wear my Bulldogs jersey. It's only right. So I appreciate you also letting me wear my Bulldogs jersey on the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me wear it. Because I see everybody in formal attire.
Nah, it's casual.
Me, I got to wear. That's a really good idea, by the way. I got to wear my trackies, my Dogs jersey, so full Dogs attire.
That's it, bro. It's part of what makes you so popular, so famous, so everything entertaining. Why would you be any different? You know?
Exactly. I'll just be myself, man.
That's it.
That's why I'm against the grain.
Amen, bro. That's the way. And, bro, sorry. I know I keep saying we're going to finish up. Just one last question that I have forgotten to tell, to ask about 95% of our guests.
Yeah, go for it.
That I said I was going to at the end of every podcast. All right. We're just going to get a bit dull here, okay? You're on death row.
Okay.
And you're going for your final meal. All right? Have you seen death row final meals?
Yeah, like they just get everything they ever want.
Yes. Okay, so you're aware of the stipulations, that there are no rules, basically. Very good. What's your final meal?
Gosh, I'll keep it pretty simple because I do have a bit of a big appetite. It'll be like 50 meat sambusik.
Yum, yeah.
All right. And I'll have like maybe a little bit of like lavne just if I want to change it up. I have like an enormous bowl of like Singapore noodles.
Wow.
Because that's my favorite, like one of my favorite dishes out.
Wow.
And I think I gotta have a KFC zinger box because it's got to be there. It's just part of like with a couple of dinner rolls and you know what I mean. It's just got to be there. It's just
right.
And then my mum's specialty. I'd have to have it one last time. She makes chicken schnitzel like better than anyone, and mashed potatoes better than anyone in the whole world.
Yum.
And that's like my mum's specialty. So I've got to have that. And I basically have one of my grandmothers makes an insane biryani, so I've got to have that too. Like basically all of their specialties, all at once, and then a KFC zinger box and Singapore noodles, right? Because I'll say a funny story. So like when I was young, like we grew up in Redfern, and my dad, would have been like 2. We all went to Chinatown, like Darling Harbour, Chinatown, you know.
Yeah.
And he got Singapore noodles. And Singapore noodles is a spicy dish, especially when they make it traditionally.
Yeah.
But me, I was 2, and I wouldn't shut up until my dad fed me Singapore noodles. And he's like, this idiot, he wants this spicy food, bro. Like, shut up, kid. Like, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't shut up. And it's like, all right, I'll shut you up then. I'm going to give you a piece with the chili. And I eat it. And he's expecting me to just start crying. But no, I started crying because I wanted more. So then he just kept feeding me. He was just fascinated, right?
What?
And then this Asian couple, because we're in Chinatown, they're like, no, no, no. Like running up to my dad telling him no. Like not to feed me spicy food. And he gives them the chopsticks and he says, hey, you try to take it off him.
Oh,
And then coincidentally, Singapore noodles is like my favorite dish. Like I look for like the perfect one. And that's part of my like death row meal. And then dessert. I would go like a blueberry cheesecake. Bloody love cheesecake, ricotta cake, and then I'm basically just listing all the foods I want. If I don't finish them, even if I have a little bit of everything on death row, but there's no time limit, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so and then I love a sticky date pudding with butterscotch sauce. So that'd be like the absolute final like fat dog piece, like cherry on top.
I love that.
And then for the drink, mate, I like Kirk's Pasito cans up the wazoo. I love Kirk's Pasito.
What?
Out the can only, but
wow.
like nothing is better than like 40-degree day. Like you've had a lot of fun outside and you go into like the Eskin, you pull out like a super cold Kirk's Pasito. Like if I ever got a brand deal for that, mate, it'd probably be like that'd be a dream come true. Shout out to Kirk's.
There we go, bro.
Yeah.
It's out there now.
I just gave you like every food that's ever existed.
That is, I have to say, honestly, no disrespect to the previous guests that I've asked.
It
like
better
two
be
of
the
them.
best. It
It's
better be the
best
best
answer I've heard.
And I gave you a story about the Singapore noodles, mate. So
Honestly, the best answer.
well, man, that's why you bring guys like me on, mate.
What a beast. Very quickly, where are the best Singapore noodles you can find?
There's a place in Bonnyrigg, Iron Chef. The Iron Chef Chinese. It's actually insane. Like, you know, everything else is half decent, but like his Singapore noodles is like elite. But the thing is, the last 2 times that had the best Singapore noodles, they both closed down.
Oh, spewing.
Yeah, so it hurt me a little bit. There was a
Like that, eh?
place Stocklands, Weatherall Park, before they did the remodel called Me Noodles. They did make the best I've ever had.
Wow.
And I've had a lot of Singapore noodles, but then the whole shopping centre got redone and they weren't there anymore.
Spewing. Do they still exist? Have you searched
No.
it?
And then
They're gone.
and whoever that old man chef was, he was a gun.
Spewing, man.
Miss it, man. But yeah, there's a place in Bonnyrigg, they make it really good.
Nice. I love it. All right, that's it. Now I'm officially ending it. All right? I'm not going to keep you any longer.
That's fine.
You're a legend. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Anthony.
Thank you again, man, for coming on. You're a champion. And just to finish up,
up the dogs,
as we
mate.
always do, up the dogs. Of course. Up the dogs, for sure. And just a reminder to everyone listening that our life is not our own. We belong to Jesus Christ. So don't be afraid to go against the grain. God bless. And again, up the dogs.
Up the dogs.
Let's go.
Thanks for having me on,
bro.